Thank you, calling Pop John's Cumberland. This is Kyle speaking.
The pizza's here! Yeah.
This year, the girls had 10 wins, which is the most wins that they've had in 7 seasons. So it was definitely a build off last year. When I first came as a coach, we only won 2 games. And so last year we improved to 6, and this year we improved to 10. So I tell them it's all about the progress. We might not have won state this year, but we're continuing to get better, and we're building a program. Yeah, so that's why I put all the success this year is really all on the seniors and the group of girls, right? It's not me coming in, but it's the seniors came together. They've shown up every day in practices. They've come to all of the off-season things. And this year, Nia scored 17 goals, which is almost more goals than we scored all of last season. So it's unbelievable. Then we also have in our back line Trinity Barnes, Alicia Addison, and Jasmine Quarles back there that we let in almost half of the goals this year that we did last year. So big improvement.
What if a car company didn't just build better cars, but help build something more, like community, family, futures? Well, that's exactly what Honda's doing, right here in Indiana. We're home of the award-winning Civic and CR-V, and home of the smart, stylish Insight Hybrid, all proudly built in Greensburg. We're support and stability, here and here. We're Honda, and we're building something more together.
It's always a special night, seniors that have played for 4 years get an opportunity to celebrate on the field with their family before the game, and just it always brings a cool atmosphere. And this is the last football game that I can guarantee these kids to play on this field. So obviously the draw in the playoffs, we could get another one, but it's just a special night to celebrate what these kids have done over their 4 years.
How are the seniors impacted this year?
It's always toughest on the senior class coming in with a new coach because everything changes for them. They have a routine they're used to, but they've really bought in. They've worked hard, and just really proud of this group of seniors. Even though the record's not what we'd want it to be, we talked about that's not what defines us this week, and we're playing good football, and we just got to figure out a way to hopefully come out with a victory on Friday.
I'm gonna miss playing with my brothers at home because it feels good to play a home game, and just knowing it's my last home game, it's crazy.
It's really just another game. It's going to be a real bittersweet moment. It's been a fast 4 years, faster than I thought. So I'm just going to attack it like any other game, Let's go to work.
It's gonna be a good atmosphere, but it is just another game. We gotta come out, be ready to get a win this night. And it's been a long, I only been here 2 years, but it's been a long 2 years and I don't regret playing.
The MIC Network Game of the Week is a proud product of Frontrunner Media's Next Generation Initiative. Thanks to Frontrunner, the MIC Network Game of the Week allows students around the MIC to get hands-on experience while working alongside media professionals. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by the hardworking students that make it possible. The MIC Network, led by students, powered by champions.
The goal of the Empty Bowls project is to raise money to help support food banks within our community. This year, the food bank that we've chosen is the Old Bethel Food Bank. How it works is that all the different schools, the students of all the different schools in the MIC conference, they make bowls and then they deliver them to us. And then we put them out for display. People come and buy a meal. Here's a ticket, an example of a ticket. So they'll buy a meal for $10, and then they get to choose whatever bowl that they want to take with them. And so the whole idea of the empty bowls is to represent those that might be in need of food. And so this is a really worthy event, and we really like it, and our kids are doing a great job creating bowls. It's December the 4th.
Thank you, Colin Pop Jones. Cumberland, this is Kyle speaking.
The pizza's here!
Give me my Papa John's.
The cheese is my favorite. I love the plain.
Is that Supreme?
Good.
I really like it.
They scored touchdowns here. You gotta be able to get these guys off the field to get the game. Nice punt.
Yeah.
I love just the music and the culture.
Dancing.
The people, the culture. We love to party and we love to have a good time.
Favorite food?
Tortas, tacos, tostadas,
Tinga.
Pupusas.
Empanadas, tacos, enchiladas, and bollo.
Fried plantains. We just call them plátanos. And salami is really good.
We're all unified, and it's just like the familiar aspect.
All Latinos.
Not the same.
We come in all colors and backgrounds.
I want people to understand that.
Allow us to tell you who we are.
I love being Colombian.
Salvadorian.
Guatemala, Honduras,
Mexican, Dominican.
Here at Pike High School, we celebrate everyone of Hispanic heritage.
We are Pike family. Pike
Prague.
What if a car company didn't just build better cars, but help build something more, like community, family, futures? We're Honda, and we're building something more right here in Indiana.
rockin'. As one of many teams on the MIC, we focused and we locked in. We gon' show all of them teams who think they poppin' what we really coming with. Gulf Feast in the Grove, Pike, North Central, all saying that you don't really want none of this. And Pike, LC, Carmel, LN, and BD saying that if you think you bad, come and get some of this. We coming for the ring. Yeah. So you know we not playing when we step up on the scene, and we do it as a team. Yeah. If you don't know, trust me, you gon' see. You better act like you know. Act like you know. Act like you know. You better act like you know. Act like you know. Act like you know. Act like you know. You better act like you know. We stay ready. So what you talking about? Ain't no back and forth. We ain't gotta talk it out. Show it in your game, not what you say, but in the way you play, because that's what it's really all about. Hard work to the end of the day. Hard work is the champion way. And find us on the MIC, catch us on the MIC, because the MIC is where the champions play. We coming for the ring. Yeah. So you know we not playing when we step up on the scene, and we do it as a team. Yeah. If you don't know, trust me, you gon' see. You better act like you know. Act like you know. Act like you know. You better act like you know. Act like you know. Act like you know. Act like you know. You better act like you know. We coming for the ring. Yeah. So you know we not playing when we step up on the scene, and we do it as a team. Yeah. If you don't know, trust me, you gon' see. You better act like you know. Act like you know. Act like you know. You better act like you know. Act like you know. Act like you know. Act like you know. You better act like you know.
Welcome to George C. Grosskopf Stadium here on Pike High School's campus, where the North Central Panthers crawl into this one 5-2. They look poised to pounce on the Pike Red Devils. I'm Logan Olson, joined by Daryl Morton Jr. It's Mick Network Game of the Week, the Panthers and the Red Devils. And Daryl, as you can see, it's a bit wet out here, a lot of wind. How are these elements really going to affect tonight?
Well, I tell you, we don't know, but typically when you have these kind of elements, it's going to be about running the football and who can run the ball effectively.
Absolutely, and you talk about running the football, something that the Red Devils don't like to do too much of. Anthony Seidel, the junior quarterback's had a breakout year so far, has really emerged as kind of a star in the mix.
Well, you know what? I talked to him earlier. He talked about just getting his feet set, and he's doing a great job. Tossed a couple of 3 touchdowns last week. But in order to be effective tonight, if he's going to pass the ball, he's got some receivers. Boykins, he's got Simpson. He's got some players to throw it to. But again, these are tough elements to try to make things happen. We'll see who makes the plays tonight in this game.
Absolutely, and going off of that, really running the football, we've seen North Central emerge as a contender for the MIC championship. All of a sudden, they have one loss in the conference. They're going in these final weeks sitting real nice, looking for a big win here, and a lot of it's coming part of David Smith, the running back for the North Central Panthers.
Absolutely had a big game last week, and I tell you what, North Central coming off last year, they're actually doing a great job, and they're trying to go a little bit further than they did last year. North Central was coming in here trying to get a victory tonight.
Absolutely, and the Pike Red Devils want to defend the home turf. We've seen Coach Etch already out in the shorts, the lucky shorts. They have a win already this year. How are they going to stop this run game and this offense here from the Panthers?
Well, I'll tell you what, Pike's defense has been good all year long. They've been in pretty much every football game, but tonight they will be tested, and we'll see what happens.
Absolutely, we'll see what happens. Coming up next for you here on your MIC Network Game of the Week, the 5-2 Panthers come into this one against the 1-6 Pike Red Devils. I'm Logan Henson, joined by Daryl Morton Jr. MIC Network Game of the Week up next.
The MIC Network Game of the Week is a proud product of Frontrunner Media's Next Generation Initiative. Thanks to Frontrunner, the MIC Network Game of the Week allows students around the MIC to get hands-on experience while working alongside media professionals. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by the hardworking students that make it possible. The MIC Network, led by students, powered by champions.
The MIC Network Game of the Week is presented by Papa John's, the Indianapolis Marriott East Center, Brand Visions, and Frontrunner Media.
We're live at George C. Grosskopf Stadium, the site of your MIG Network Game of the Week, as the 7th-ranked North Central Panthers crawl in to the west side of Indianapolis, take on the Pike Red Devils. I'm Logan Hunt, alongside joined by Daryl Morton Jr. And Daryl, we see the North Central Panthers come into this one on a 4-game winning streak, have really taken the MIC by storm this year, have positioned themselves to bring home a MIC Conference championship. They're 4-1 in conference, 5-2 overall, but the Pike Red Devils stand in their way.
Absolutely. They actually came on last year and really played well when they got knocked off at Warren. We know that. But they've actually taken things into this season. And like you said, 4-1, and they're coming in here tonight to see if they can continue that streak.
Red Devils right now riding a 2-game losing streak, but are 1-6 on the year, 1-4 in conference. Their lone win coming against the Lawrence Central Bears, where they took care of business there 19-15 just a couple weeks ago. And it seems like every single week the Pike Red Devils are getting better and better. We're seeing the score margin go decrease and decrease even more. This is a team that took Center Grove all the way to the very end last week and lost just by a field goal at the end.
Then earlier in the season, we talked about the offense, way ahead of the defense. The offense is catching up, and as you can see, as you said, the scores are getting closer. Let's see if they can just actually put the things together tonight to get them a win.
We talked a little bit in the pregame about some of the keys to the game. A lot of it's going to surround around Anthony Seidella offensively. Really just has been an absolute machine for the Red Devils, completing 55% of his passes, over 1,500 yards on the year, but right now, 8 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Needs to be a focal point for him moving forward.
Well, a lot of those interceptions came early, the part of the season. The last couple of games has actually been pretty solid, so tonight they're going to need a big effort from him.
Senior night here for the Red Devils, as all the early pregame festivities are over. We have 12 minutes on the clock. Zach Smith, the kicker, has it teed up on the 40 as we get ready to kick off on what is a cold, rainy, bitter night here on the west side of Indianapolis.
Well, I tell you what, it looks like the rain may have slowed down a little bit, but it didn't look good when we first got here. Just blowing, the flags were blowing, and no one looked happy. But we actually see fans in the stands right now, so we might still have a shot to get some sun here. I don't know.
Richard Hamilton and Theron Johnson, the 2 return men, back for the North Central Panthers, standing at their own 10-yard line. As Smith boots this up, and Hamilton backtracking, just snags it at the 2-yard line, turns around, has some room up the middle, has a big hole. Hamilton with a lead block. Just the kicker to beat. Hamilton using it past the 20. Richard Hamilton gonna get a friendly shove into the end zone. A 99-yard kickoff return, opening score for Richard Hamilton and the North Central Panthers.
And I'll tell you what, there is no better way to start a football game than that. Taking the opening kick, he found a seam, and he just got loose, and there was nothing that anyone could do about that.
Well, he jumped the gun on me here. He was one of the impact players for the North Central Panthers, and I think he made his impact already.
That's what you call impact right there.
Well, how about that? Richard Hamilton, a man who has really come alive this year for the North Central Panthers, has 9 touchdowns through the air, over 500 receiving yards, and one of the most elusive athletes that you'll find in the MIC as well. 99-yard kickoff return, early score for the Panthers.
As advertised.
Scott Egg with the extra point.
So 16 seconds into the game.
And already 7-0 for the North Central Panthers.
And we talked about Pike and Seidella, and he's come on the last couple of weeks. Already he's coming out here. It's going to be a hole. But again, if he, some of the things he talked about, keeping his feet set, see if he can lead these young Red Devils down the field to answer that.
Well, this is exactly what we talked about. How will the elements maybe affect some of the offense moving forward when everything gets a little bit wet? It's harder to hold onto the ball. It's harder to throw the ball. You do it on the ground, and Richard Hamilton doing just that. Big-time run there for North Central, and a lot of momentum for the Panthers coming out, making a statement early.
Yeah, I tell you what, that makes things easier on your side. We talked about it being perhaps a ground-and-pound game because of the weather elements here, but, one of these teams may have to go to the air.
Well, the MIG Network would like to welcome back Papa John's as a title partner for the MIG Network Game of the Week. With over 30 locations in the central Indiana area, great pizzas always nearby. So after the game, enjoy a hot, delicious Papa John's pizza. Better ingredients, better pizza is always from Papa John's. And when you support Papa John's, you are supporting high school athletics. As we'll
get the ball teed back up and ready to go. Said just a couple seconds into the ball game already as the Panthers already up early on the Pike Red Devils, but we're going to get a chance to see how the Red Devils respond as this one going to be a squib kick and going to be dropped on right at, looks like 33-yard line or so, as that's where the Panthers will take over to start this first quarter of action.
Decent field position here for the Red Devils.
And we already mentioned it, Anthony Seidel, the quarterback, coming out for the Red Devils to start.
Had a pretty good week last week. Again, in a loss, he threw 3 touchdowns. So he's definitely it's starting to come to him a little bit easier.
Again, Red Devils out of the shotgun, 3 receivers right side, play action, quickly flung out to Sanders as Sanders will prance forward to the 40, close to the 40-yard line. Going to mark him out just at about the 37. So a gain of a couple there for the Red Devils, and expect to see this a lot. Wouldn't be surprised to see Seidel throwing the ball close to 60 times.
You know, they are very effective when he does that. Those little short out plays there, gets 4 and 5 yards a pop.
And this is something that Coach Etch obviously instituted, same type of offense, spread offense that he ran at Zionsville, his previous stop as well. And going to take a couple years to implement it here for the Red Devils, but already some success through the air. As Seidel rolling out left side, hit as he thrown, finds his man right at the 44-yard line. Going to be a first down there. It looks like Xavier Simpson comes up with the grab, and Thomas Brana with the pressure there on Seidel.
He had a little pressure on him, but again, that's him throwing across his body. I'm speaking about Seidel. He made a great throw right there on the money. Xavier with a great catch.
So already a couple first down there for the Red Devils, moving the chains. Ball on the 43-yard line. Play call comes in from the sideline as well. Again, Seidel out of the shotgun. Allen just to his right in the backfield. 3 men down on the line for the Panthers, running a 3-4 set. Man in motion. Seidel rolling that way to his right, under pressure, lets it fly. And this one nearly interception. Theron Johnson just had his hands on what could have been his second interception of the year.
Yes, and we talked about the weather conditions. We can see the weather, the rain really starting to come down now. So it's going to be interesting, and perhaps who can run the ball the best is going to be the name of this.
The
it's coming down right now.
The umbrellas are popping out as everyone huddling a little closer together as a good rain. It was just misting a little bit. Now a downpour out there. 2nd and 10. Seidel, handoff Allen, using a lead block. Going to fall forward for a gain of 1 or so. And a little extracurricular from the far side. Drawing a flag, saw Elijah McLaughlin as well as Deshaun Hunter getting into it on the far side of the field.
It looks like that may go against perhaps the Panthers there.
Possibly against Deshaun Hunter. I saw him give a little shove there to McLaughlin.
So it's going to...
As Hunter gave that little extra shove at the end, we saw it up here for him, North Central. And Deshaun Hunter, again, a really good cornerback for the North Central Panthers. Only a junior, but with 3 interceptions on the year, he's leading the team. And no wonder why he's guarding Elijah McLaughlin, who right now leads the team in receptions with 35 on the season for over 400 yards.
It's a big play receiver.
1st and 10 now for the Pike Red Devils. Ball on the 40-yard line. Thanks to the 15-yard penalty there. As the Red Devils are now into Panther territory. The rain still coming down. Play action. Seidel over the top, and oh my goodness, what a play.
I'll tell you what, a little tip.
Chris Mitchell having to go right off his fingertips, lands into Xavier Simpson's hands. Better be lucky than good sometimes.
I'll tell you what, it's not the way you draw it up, but you'll take the yardage.
Gain of 8 on the play.
Wow, let's look at that again. There's a tip right out of his hands, and Simpson right there. Johnny on the spot, makes the catch.
Larry Campbell came in, made the tackle as well.
Hand-eye coordination there.
2nd and 2. So we near 10 minutes to go in the first quarter. Again, handoff Allen looking to bounce it outside, and he stood up immediately right at the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to go there as Jaden Ward met him right at the line.
And I tell you what, they're going to have to figure out a way to start to establish the run, because that's actually going to make it easier on the passing game. But you got to have the run.
3rd and 2 now for the Panthers. This would be a big stop for North Central if they can hold the Red Devils at bay after that personal foul penalty. Seidel out of the shotgun. Allen just to his right. Mitchell in motion. Again, play action. Seidel throwing this one deep for Simpson. Has him. And Simpson all the way down. Going to mark him right at the 2-yard line. First down, Pike Red Devils.
Well, I tell you what, Simpson is the closest thing to automatic that I've seen in a while. I tell you what, you throw the ball in his area, he's going to go get it and make plays. And that's what he's done all year long.
A little misdirection there. Saw Simpson going towards the middle of the field, and Seidel went long and had to readjust, and a great over-the-shoulder grab there. Deshaun Hunter was all over him. 1st and goal now for the Pike Red Devils. Hand off to Allen. Allen plowing his way in, and there's 6 for the Pike Red Devils, and a nice answer with Will Allen getting on the board with a 1-yard scamper.
The run game finally came through for the Red Devils. Touchdown, Will Allen.
And what an answer there off of the kickoff return for a score from Richard Hamilton. The Red Devils move the ball down the field with ease, go 73 yards, and get their own score.
It's one of those things where you can be in shock if you let a team just score like that on the opening kick. But again, like you said, the Red Devils came back, settled down, and moved it down the field and have a shot to even the score right here.
Zach Smith out for the PAT. He's perfect on the season so far. And this one just getting in there, as looked like there was a little trouble with the hold, a little slippery, but gonna drop in. So 7-7 is your score for 2 opening drive scores. The conditions don't seem to be bothering the offenses.
Not at all right now.
Well, the Marriott East is a strong supporter of mixed sports and the MIC Network Game of the Week. Marriott East is a premier hotel located just minutes from downtown. Next time you're looking for a hotel room or a place for your meeting or conference, check in with the Marriott East. 9:05 to go in the first quarter. 7-7, Red Devils and Panthers all knotted up here early. Senior night for Pike High School as well. Has had some nice festivities with the cheerleaders and the managers and the players as well. And you know, when you're playing on a senior night, it feels like it just means just a little bit more, Daryl.
It means a lot more. You have your parents out here, you have your friends, your family, and it's just one of those things you want to come out and see if you can get a win on senior night.
Well, we'll see where Zach Smith kicks this one, as Hamilton standing on his own 10 yet again. Aaron Johnson at the 10 as well for the Panthers. We'll see if they kick away from Hamilton.
I would.
And Smith boots it up, and he's going straight back to Hamilton, who fields it right at the 5.
About the same place.
This time, Hamilton breaks one, gets to the corner, and just gets pulled out of bounds before the 35-yard line. And it looks like Jefferson pushing him out there for the Red Devils. So the North Central Panthers are going to set up their first offensive series from about the 34-yard line. And this is going to be the first look that we've seen here at quarterback Harry Abel. Comes in this one completing 47% of his passes. Just over 1,100 yards.
13-23 last week, 138 yards, a couple TDs and an INT.
And that has been the main cause of concern for the Panthers. Abel, 13 touchdowns through the air, but also 15 INTs.
Yeah, that's a problem. Well, a lot of them were at week 1. Was it 6 in that game?
It was about 6 total for the team, as you see David Smith popping it outside, pushing his way forward for a first down. And you mentioned it, since that disastrous first game at Lucas Oil for the North Central Panthers, where they lost that one 26-0. They've only lost one game since, and that was to the Warren Central Warriors, and right now are on a 4-game winning streak with wins over Center Grove and Carmel.
I mean, they're playing really well right now. As you talked about Smith, 29 rushes last week, 179 yards. He's averaging 6 yards every time he touches the football.
First carry here went for a first down.
Right on cue.
3 men on the line for the Red Devils. Abel again, handoff to Smith. Picking his hole and gonna get dropped at the 50-yard line. Gain of about 4 on the play.
And that's what we talked about the Red Devil defense. You know, they played really well this season, but they're going to have to find a way to shut down Smith.
And I think a lot of that's going to come from big number 92, Antonio White. You see him first, too, for the Red Devils. Able to get on him, and a lot's going to fall into that senior. 2nd and 6. Ball on the 50-yard line. We've seen 2 rushes already from the Panthers. They've yet to air it out. Red Devils showing blitz, and this is going to get
might have jumped there.
Red Devils to jump off sides, like you mentioned.
Can't help them. You can't help them.
The hard count works.
Yeah, hard count works. You just can't help them. They don't need any help.
Saw a couple Red Devils ready to pounce in there. Kyson Allen, I think, is going to be the guilty party of it. That's going to bring up 2nd and 1 now after the 5-yard penalty for the North Central Panthers. And now they are in Red Devil territory. Again, Smith in motion in the backfield. Red Devils showing blitz. High snap. Smith gets it. Right side. Has a hole. David Smith just past the 30-yard line, barreling forward, and finally brought down.
I'll tell you what, he was very, very patient, found his hole, and then he just sprinted and got a nice little run there before he stopped by the Red Devils. As you see the replay here, high snap, takes it, goes around the right side, and he just found this little seam there, and he was wide open in the field there. You got to find a way to stop that. You got to find a way to shut that down if you're the Red Devils.
Chris Harmon, safety in on the tackle. Man in motion for the North Central Panthers. Again, handoff inside, trying to get a big push. And it looks like we get a gain of a couple as Micah Green took that one. Looks like Kevin Todd was first 2 for the Red Devils as well. Second and 9. Just over 7 minutes remaining in the first quarter, and a lot of scoring already in the first couple possessions, and these defenses are letting the offense just kind of walk down the field. Again, Abel, handoff Smith. Smith bouncing outside, gets a hole, and finally is brought down just before the 10-yard line. Deontay Jefferson again making the tackle. So 1st and 10 for the Panthers inside the red zone.
And we just talked about him averaging 6 yards every time he touches the ball. We see he gets in here and just patient, picks his spot, and then just accelerates. And by the time the Red Devils are on him, he's got, 7, 8, 9, 10 yards down the field.
We have yet to see Harry Abel pass the ball here as the Panthers have just been running the ball with ease down the field.
Looks like Center Grove out there.
Hand off to Micah Green, and Green gets brought down just shy of the goal. They're going to call it in.
Did he get in? He may have fell on top of a defender there and rolled into the end zone. Let's look at the replay if we have it here.
Absolutely, Micah Green plowing his way in there.
Yeah, I think he may have landed on a defender, but he wasn't down.
From 11 yards out. See there, number 40, Micah Green with it.
He gets through there.
Hard running forward.
On top of it, landed on a defender and rolled right over the goal line. Touchdown every time.
Like just rolling over the Red Devil, like you said, and an 11-yard score all on the ground for the Panthers. And PAT is up and good as well. So in the blink of an eye, 14-7, Panthers strike right back against the Pike Red Devils.
Tell you what, the Panthers are, like you said, the last couple of weeks have really been playing some very, very good football on the heels of the Warriors. So they're coming in here tonight to continue that. And again, if you're Pike, you've got to find a way to get the ball out of Smith's hands.
I tell you what, just miraculous there to watch the North Central Panthers not throw the ball a single time, just run it down your throat, down the field just like that. And paying off with dividends as they were going against the wind as well. So both defenses have some working out to do, as the Red Devils last time out have had one trip and it ended in a 2-yard score from Will Allen on the ground, as they were able to move the ball fairly easily through the air as well as running the ball as well with Will Allen. So both these teams, I think both defensive coordinators are already losing a bit of hair.
Absolutely. And how confident can you just move the ball down the field in the wind, in the elements, then you scored, without passing the ball. That's not bad at all. That's a lot of confidence you build.
Haig has the ball teed up at the 40. We saw a squib on the first kick, as now we'll get this one again squibbed. And this one going to be dropped on just past the 30-yard line. Darius Williams jumping on it for the Red Devils. So a longer field to go again for the Red Devils. They're going to start out at the 28-yard line.
Yeah, I think the instructions from the coach are, if you get the ball, just fall down. We can't afford to have any mistakes with the football. As you can see, Etch there with his short zone is he's handling it pretty well, isn't he? I mean, my goodness.
We were not exaggerating. We said it was bitter cold out there.
It's bitter cold. He's got shorts on.
Built from a different breed, that's for sure. As we're up here in the heat, we have the luxury of that.
Still a little chilly in the air. You can still feel the chill in the air. I don't want to be out there at all. Pregame killed me, let me tell you.
Handoff up the middle. Looks like right back to the line of scrimmage as Darius Williams gets brought down for no gain. 2nd and 10 now for the Red Devils.
And that's, the Red Devils have got to get more out of a first down. You got to get more yardage than that, because you put the pressure on your offense having to go out and having to pick up big yardage on 2nd and 3rd down.
Thomas Cole there on the stop for North Central. Again, Mitchell in motion. 2nd and 10, Sidella handing this one off again. And there's absolutely nowhere to go. Met in the backfield where Williams, and just no running room at all for him.
Nothing
as
at
Micah
all.
Green was right there. He's all over the field, playing linebacker, playing running back, just got himself 6 points. Now I'm with a tackle for loss.
And you get a 3rd and long, and everybody out here knows what's coming.
I've seen 2 straight run plays, and the Panthers were all over it. Nearing 5 minutes to play in the first quarter. Man in motion, Williams going out wide. Sidella looking that way and just trying to throw this one away as he was under heavy pressure. Incomplete pass, and going to be 4th down now for the Red Devils.
And you can see he rolled out, had nothing there. He just tried to survive there and just find a spot to throw it down just so it's not intercepted. And again, 3 and out. You give the ball right back to these guys who just marched down the field without passing the ball. That's tough, a tough order to ask your defense to come out here and shut these guys down again.
Well, you saw Josh Green getting all inside Ella's grill. Josh Green comes into this one with 4.5 sacks on the season. Sidella did a nice job just getting it away, and same with Smith, who just boots this one to Hamilton, who falls on it right at the 40-yard line. A little bit of sloppy play from both sides, but both teams come out clean enough. And it's going to be a short field for the North Central Panthers. They're going to take over the 41-yard line. And like you mentioned, a team that ran the ball with ease on their first position. We'll see how the Red Devils come out and try to stop that run.
Got to do something here. But I tell you what, on the punt, there was contact with the punter. He's got to get in these acting classes out here, Pike, and just fall down. He's got to fall down because there was a little contact, and he just backed away from it.
Again, just under 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. 14-7, Panthers on top of the Red Devils. Handoff again, going to Smith, looking to get to the edge, but nothing working there. Coming in on the tackle was Kyron Montgomery, a promising junior prospect here on the west side.
I tell you what, as a team, they stretched it out. He just came in and closed the deal there.
Kyron Montgomery with multiple Division I offers from about every major conference that there is in the FBS division. Definitely a man that is making his presence known this year, and can't wait to see what he has next year.
Absolutely.
4-star rated recruit. 2nd and 10 again for North Central. Smith motions right in the backfield. And again, handoff to Smith. And again, Kyron Montgomery.
There again.
Gain of 2 on the play, but Montgomery not letting that one break out.
And he's letting everybody know about it as well.
3rd and 8 for North Central, thanks to 2 short runs there from David Smith. Kyron Montgomery eating them up defensively, and mentioned a very short field for North Central. Something that they're going to want to capitalize on for that quick 3 and out from the Red Devils. Again, Panthers have yet to pass the ball this game as Abel looking, drops back, screen play out to Smith, gets a block upfield. Smith lowers his shoulder, and it'll depend on the spot here as Kyson Allen laid a big blow. And it looks like this might just be short.
It's a flag on the field, so this might be coming back.
And going to be holding, I believe it's going to be holding on North Central. I believe this might be on Richard Hamilton as he was blocking upfield maybe a little too early.
Well, I'll tell you what, the play was set up very nicely, and it looked like that was going to pick up a lot more yardage than it did. But fortunate for the Red Devils, there was a flag on the play, and the ball's going to move back, and they have an opportunity here to shut these guys down.
They have the ball right now spotted at the 35-yard line after the 10-yard penalty. As the officials discussing this one, Panthers already coming out ready to run their play. And it looks like it is going to be 3rd and officially 16 yards for North Central. Now they're moving the ball yet again.
Wow. It's just one of those things, got to pay attention in math there, figure out.
So now it's on the 31-yard line. So now 3rd and 20.
Who says you don't need math when you're an adult? You're always going to need math.
3rd and 20 for North Central. And going to be a handoff again to David Smith. Gets a hole up the middle and is finally chopped down by Jalen Law just past the 45-yard line. Brings up 4th down for the Panthers, the first 4th down they've seen today.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, looks like the Red Devils were certainly expecting pass there. They just slipped a little run there, and he came pretty close to almost breaking free there and getting the 1st down.
Well, we've seen both teams, after exploding for a couple scores early, have now slowed down with a couple 3 and outs.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you're Pike and you get the ball back, you can't afford another 3 and out. Cannot put your defense back out here again. This running attack is potent, and you don't want to get them started downhill on you.
Hey, with a quick pooch kick right there to the 25-yard line as Law opts for no return. And going to be an easy start here for the Red Devils right at the 25-yard line with 2:34 to go in the first quarter. As the MIG Network would like to thank the athletic directors of the Metropolitan Interscholastic Conference for making our coverage possible. Their commitment to youth sports and youth development is, as always, applause-worthy. 14-7, how we got here. Richard Hamilton took the opening kick back 99 yards for a touchdown for North Central. Then Pike answered with a 2-yard score of their own from Will Allen on the next series. And then Micah Green pounds it in from 11 yards out for North Central. They get to 14-7, 2 3 and outs. And now we're here as we have an injured Panther, looks like, down on the sideline from that return. So we're going to step aside for just a moment here from Pike High School. 14-7, Panthers on top of the Red Devils.
What if a car company didn't just build better cars, but help build something more, like community, family, futures? We're Honda, and we're building something more right here in Indiana.
Jaden Ward, the North Central Panther who was down on the play, now walking off under his own power. The 5'10" junior linebacker. Hopefully we'll see him back in this ball game. Been a pivotal part already for the Panthers. As we take a look at exactly what happened there. And right there. Looks like Montgomery laying a blow on him.
Yeah, he actually, wow, he came across and got him
right
up high there. Yeah, up high there, and he just went down and was not getting back up.
So I hope to see him get back into the game as well, as Montgomery has come out aggressive in this past series. Man in motion here, Sanders, as Seidella hands it off up the middle. And absolutely nowhere to go there, as it looks like that's Carr with nowhere to run.
Well, Pike cannot mirror their last, opportunity with the football here, but they came out and ran almost the exact same play and got the exact same results. They've got to start moving the football down the field. You cannot put your defense back out here this early. You cannot.
Josh Green right there to eat it up. 2nd and 11 now for the Red Devils. Again, Sanders in motion. This time, handoff Allen right side, and he just has to run out of bounds right at about the 21-yard line. So a loss of 3 on the play as the Panthers were coming right to him. Deshaun Hunter right there.
And so we can almost talk about the last 4 or 5 plays the Pike has run from the line of scrimmage have got negative yards. So you put your offense in a 3rd and long situation again, having to throw the football. That's not a good recipe for victory.
Well, we've seen the Red Devils, a team that we know really likes passing the ball, come out these last 2 series and run the ball on first and second down.
Which is very surprising.
Yeah, see, it's still misting out there for sure. The rain is coming down. And you got to think that's affected some of the play call here from the Red Devils. With under 2 to go in the first quarter. Seidella rolling left side, has time. Letting one fly, and it's going to be intercepted. Theron Johnson getting the INT just inside the 40-yard line. And the North Central Panthers are back in business after the interception there from Anthony Seidella.
And, that's the one thing. I know he's had some success rolling out of a pocket, but again, if he doesn't get his feet set, it actually he's got to get his feet set to be able to make that throw, and he didn't get his feet set, and as you can see, the results are it's an interception in North Central football.
He was looking for one of his favorite targets, Tyrell Sanders over there. Theron Johnson getting his 2nd interception of the season. And now ball on the 37-yard line. Panthers with some room to work with 1:26 left to go in the first quarter. Abel, handoff Smith, bouncing out left side. And Antonio White's right there to meet him. Kevin Todd coming to as well. And just nowhere to go for David Smith, as now maybe a little chippy at the end. And a timeout going to be called from Coach Etch and the Pike Red Devils.
I'll tell you what, there's a loss of 4, but again, as you can see, the Red Devils penetrate here and just get great cover, get into the backfield, and he was not going anywhere. As you can see, a host of Red Devils take him down to the ground, and again, timeout Red Devils. But again, they're going to have to do more of that, shut down this run, because they have gotten very, very comfortable with these first couple of possessions. Like you said, they didn't even throw a pass. And, you got to take something away if you're the Red Devils, and it's got to be that, because that's the most effective play right now is the run.
I've got to think this is a little unusual to see from Coach Etch and from any head coach to take a timeout with 1:18 to go in the first quarter on defense, especially after I just forced a negative 3-yard play.
Well, maybe you try to get the referee's attention because that was a hard throwdown and probably could have warranted a penalty. Timeout, so you look over here at me and not that, and no flag. You got to think about that too. That's coaching right there.
Ball plays back at the 40-yard line, 2nd and 13 out of the timeout. Let's see if there were any adjustments here or maybe just some smoke screens going up there from Coach Etch. Again, Abel in the backfield. Handoff Green right side, pulling it out to the right side. Has some room. Breaks one tackle, has a lead block. Runs over another man. Micah Green finally stepping out just past the 25-yard line.
My goodness, that was a stiff arm there. I thought he was actually stopped there, and he actually stiffed on the guy and got about 4 or 5 more yards before he was knocked out of bounds. That was a great run.
Micah Green listed as 6 foot, 195 pounds, and he's listed on the roster as a linebacker. We've already seen him play some in this game.
Yeah, watch that run. He gets around there, and he looks like he's down, and he just knocks the guy down and just picks up a few more yards before he's knocked out of bounds. That's power running right there.
We talked about how Panthers didn't throw the ball, and they've attempted one pass here, and it got brought back. Now they're back to running the ball. And again, this time handoff to Smith right up the middle. Antonio White going to get credit for the tackle, but not before Smith gains about 7.
And that's what we talked about. You do not want the Red Devil defense to have to be on the field because, again, once North Central gets to running the football, they're going to eat the clock up and also going to pound you, and that's what they're doing right now. They're pounding the Red Devils.
Under a minute to play in the first quarter. Panthers right now having their way with the Pike Red Devils, playing some smash mouth football out there. 2nd and 4. They're going to have to run one more play before the end of this quarter. And again, we'll see Smith and Green. Tables right and left in the backfield. Handoff Green right side, and looks like this one's going to be blown dead. Flag on the field and going to be a false start against the North Central Panthers. Looked like a couple guys started early on that right side. So penalties have been the best defense against this run for North Central.
Take what you can get. As you see, I'm not sure if I saw anyone, but I'm not on the field. I didn't see too much there.
Well, 2nd and 9 now for North Central. 20 seconds and counting to go in the first quarter. Again, Red Devils showing blitz. Ball on the ground. Low snap. Abel heaving one deep. Has Hamilton. And this one going to be
and there's a flag
out of the end zone. And a flag coming in late. Looks like there could be a pass interference call.
He never turned around to get his eyes on the ball. So
Ross Gardner, the corner.
As you see, the ball was on the ground, and he just started it. Abel, I'm talking about, and just heaves it up there. And as you can see, the defender gets back there. There's a little hand play there, but he never turned around and just kind of interfered.
Yeah, it looks like they did pick up the...
Wow.
And they're walking it forward now, and maybe could have been uncatchable there, going out of the back of the end zone. Nonetheless, like you said, never turned around. Ross Gardner, the corner, just never got that head turned. And after the pass interference call, get a first down for North Central. Ball placed at the 12-yard line. So, again, a penalty to move the sticks for North Central. 7 seconds to go in the first quarter. Man in motion. Abel, handoff Green, finding a hole right side, makes one man miss, falling forward for a gain of about 3, as that will take us to the end of one. Plenty of scoring in this one. 14-7 is your score. The North Central Panthers leading on the road against the Pike Red Devils in your MIC Network Game of the Week. Second quarter action coming up next.
What if a car company didn't just build better cars, but help build something more, like community, family, futures? Well, that's exactly what Honda's doing, right here in Indiana. We're home of the award-winning Civic and CR-V, and home of the smart, stylish Insight Hybrid, all proudly built in Greensboro. We're support and stability, here and here. We're Honda, and we're building something more together.
Welcome back to George C. Grosskopf Stadium here at Pike High School as the 7th-ranked North Central Panthers lead after one quarter of action, 14-7 over the Pike Red Devils.
The name of the game is running the football, and that's what North Central did the entire first quarter pretty much. Established the run, very effective with the run, and I don't see them going away from that at all.
Well, it looks like they have brought the ball back to the 8-yard line. They put 2 seconds back on the clock here
so we get to finish the first quarter.
We get to officially finish the first quarter now. As the official made an announcement right when we went to break. Put 2 seconds back on the clock. As the Panthers come back out onto the field here. The Red Devils called a quick timeout before the end of that quarter ended. So 2 seconds left to go in the first quarter, and the Red Devils down to one timeout on what is a 2nd and 6 from the 8-yard line for the North Central Panthers. As they'll have the wind in their face here. So Abel gets snap, handoff Green to the edge on the far side as he'll be tackled by Jones for a gain of a couple. And that will officially take us to the end of the first quarter.
Are we sure?
So finally at the end of one, as both teams will switch fields here, and this is something here, Daryl, where it seems like North Central has come to this one and had their way offensively with the Pike Red Devils. They've had 1 3 and out, and other than that, they've run the ball with ease against the Pike Red Devils.
When you got guys that can get the ball and pick up 5, 6, and 7 yards, per touch, that's going to make a long, long night for the Red Devils. So again, they have to find a way to shut that down.
When we come back, we will officially start the second quarter of action here from Pike High School. 14-7, Panthers leading the Red Devils.
Thank you, calling Pop John's Cumberland. This is Kyle speaking.
The pizza's here! I know, right?
Welcome back to Pike High School. I'm Logan Ellis. I'm joined by Daryl Morton Jr. 14-7, Panthers leading, but threatening to score again. 3rd and 3, ball on the 5-yard line here for North Central. Again, able out of shotgun and gets
jump again.
A Red Devil to jump, and that's going to be a first down for North Central. Well, that's just a killer there. Isaiah Curtis able to jump there for Pike. As it looks like they're going to spot him just short. It's going to be 3rd and 1. 3rd and 1 now for North Central. They had him at 3rd and 6 out of that, so they took half the distance to the goal. So 3rd and 1 officially for North Central as we start the second quarter. Hand off to David Smith as he's moving the pile forward, and he's going to get in for 6.
I'll tell you what, he just found a little area in there and just fell forward into the end zone.
So from 3 yards out, Smith again putting one in for North Central. And going to be his first score of this ball game. And you mentioned it, Daryl, he had a big week last week and really picking up where he left off.
He really is. And we talked about last week, 29 rushes, 179 yards. Had a long run of 26 yards in that game. But again, we talked about every time he touches the ball, he's getting you 6 yards every time he touches the football.
That's exactly what North Central has done so far. Oh, bad snap. Went through Abel's hand. Hogue, the kicker, looking to run with it. Now tries throwing it up and just gets tipped out of the back of the end zone.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll give him an A for effort. Again, that's what you do with the football. He had no other play. He's going to get tackled. Just throw it up there. What's the worst thing that can happen if you throw it up there? They drop it.
Was looking for someone, got tipped right there. And
look at this. He goes, looks like it might be the back of a quarterback. Look at this. He gets around, makes a decision, stops, and just throws it. He had a couple guys open there. Just didn't make plays.
Well, that's what happens in the elements with the slippery ball there. So Abel just not able to bring it down. And Scott Hogue never got a chance at it. So 20-7 is your score. And we see all the time in games like this where those extra points come back to haunt a team.
Well, I'll tell you what, if it's going to come back and haunt tonight, Pike's got to find a way to pick up yardage on 1st and 2nd down.
We saw them in the first quarter. It's a lot of run plays on 1st and 2nd down. The Panthers were sniffing out from the get-go. I think you see a little bit more of Seidella maybe trying to use his arm now, although they're going to have to go against this wind and against this breeze and the rain coming at them as they're moving in the wrong direction from this field.
Well, you know, every time we've seen Pike, I think it's the 3rd time we've seen him this year, and they always get started with those short out passes, and they're very effective the first couple of possessions, and then after that they go away from it, and then it's catch-up after that.
So we have the ball teed up on the 40. Again, we've seen a couple squib kicks already from the Panthers. The Red Devils packing it in tight in the middle. And this one will be no different as they have a flag.
Got whistles down, looks like maybe offsides, maybe?
I think maybe someone left early. And it is going to be offsides on North Central. Tell you what, this has been maybe the longest series of, the quarter didn't end. We're putting seconds back on the clock now.
And then they score a touchdown, and then we go back to commercial break, and there's a lot going on here. I mean, we're still 11:54 here in the second quarter, and we should be halfway done with it.
I'll tell you what, these two teams are playing very similar football. It seems like North Central right now has just won the battle in the trenches.
They have won the battle there, and they're not going away from that. Pike has to establish that in order to have a shot here tonight. Has to.
You wonder after the penalty here if North Central might look to boot this one a little bit longer. Tournament standing about the 20-yard line for the Red Devils. Instead, it is going to be a longer kick, and this one going to bounce, and we'll see if it bounces back to the end zone, and it is fielded in the end zone there, and just nowhere to go. Going to be a touchback.
Well, I'll tell you what, I have no idea why he even wanted to pick that thing up.
Gabe Carr finally saw one come his way.
Yeah, I mean, it was going to roll into the end zone, but if you pick that up and you don't get back into the end zone and you get knocked down around the 5 or even the 10-yard line, you got to come over and talk to that guy in those shorts and explain to him what happened there.
So here come the Red Devils, back out offensively, ball spotted right at the 20-yard line, 20-7, Panthers on top. Now Seidella going to go out of the shotgun. Again, handoff Allen left side, trying to get to the edge, gets a block, and is going to be brought down from behind. Looks like by Thomas Brana. And that's going to be a gain of 2. Thomas Brana having a nice year as well. 55 tackles already for the North Central Panthers, playing in that middle linebacker spot. Him and Micah Green have really held it down there in the middle. This Panthers defense team, very tough. Again, Seidel off the shotgun. This time, handoff Allen right side, cuts it back to the middle, just looking for anywhere to go. And he'll lose those 2 yards he just gained, and all the way back close to the 20-yard line.
And I hate to sound like a broken record, the last 3 possessions, the first couple of plays have been runs, and they have got nothing. And so now you put your team in a position where it's 3rd and long, and they have to throw the football. You can't afford to have 3 and outs against this North Central team. You can't.
Again, 3rd and 9. Mitchell going in motion. 3 receivers right side now. Seidel looking that way under heavy pressure, and is going to be brought down, but it's going to be a flag out on the play and a false start on the Red Devils. Play blown dead. Josiah Green had himself another sack.
I mean, he went just right down the middle, right down Meridian, and got him.
So 3rd and 14 for the Red Devils, who, after that opening series where they walked down the field and answered the early kickoff return from the Panthers, have had nothing going. They've had a 3 and out and an interception. Ball on the 16-yard line. 3 receivers, top side of your screen. Seidella rolling right side, has time, looking for somewhere to run. Now heaves one up for Sanders, and gonna be an incompletion and nearly intercepted though, as the Panthers were all over that one. And again, 3 and out for the Pike Red Devils.
3 and out. So they actually moved the ball in the positive directions. Not at all on that possession. Not at all did they move in the positive direction. So again, they've been very effective. They've got guys who can make plays in terms of, catches. We talked about Simpson, Brookins, McLaughlin. Got to put the ball up.
See the punt here, and going to take a friendly hop there for Pike as it hits Jalen Law's legs. And he'll down it, looks like right at about the 47-yard line. So the Panthers get a start out already in Red Devil territory for this next drive, in a very short field and a tough place to put that Pike Red Devil defense in.
Yeah, again, you get your defense back on the field again. But again, if you can, run the ball for 2 yards, you can do quick slants and get the same thing, get the same result. So I'd say put the ball in the air.
Well, You mentioned David Smith with almost 200 rushing yards last week already. Has put in a lot of work here against the Red Devils. Has had a touchdown on the last drive from about 3 yards out and has really led the way offensively for North Central. As see a sideline warning come in against North Central as they get their first warning of the game. No harm, no foul there. As ball's spotted right at the 47, 1st and 10 Panthers as they lead 20-7 against the Red Devils, and this defense really needing to stop. Again, Smith in motion. Hand off David Smith left side, picks up a couple blocks up front, tumbling forward to the 40-yard line.
Another 6 yards. And again, he's as advertised. Give me the ball, I'll get you 6. At least 6. And as you can see here, he just waited, found his spot.
See Kyson Allen coming in there, making the play for the Red Devils. 2nd and 3 now off the 7-yard gain from Smith. Got to think we could do some of the play calling up here. I think it's going to be a run again.
It's going to be a run. I mean, it's effective. Why go away from it?
Battle up front being won by North Central. And again, handoff Smith right up the gut. And he'll gain about 2 or 3 on the play as Kyson Allen again making the tackle for Pike. So going to be 3rd and 1 for North Central and possible 4-down territory as well.
Possible 4-down territory. But again, if you're Pike, you got to come up with some big stops here. You got to do something here.
Again, Abel getting the play call from the sideline. Just under 9 minutes to go in this first half. Panthers driving it. Again, 3 men on the line for the Red Devils. They show blitz. Handoff Smith, cuts it back, falls forward and able to fight his way up to the 36-yard line. 1st down, North Central.
Chains move.
The first one's always the toughest there. As now the Panthers, again, just taking their time offensively, running this football and haven't pressured Harry Ableton into really any tough situations managing this game.
It's almost as if there's zero resistance right now. I mean, we know what, like you said, we can call the plays here. We know what's going to happen here. The timeout looks like a quick timeout.
Quick timeout there from Coach Kevin O'Shea, and I look like we might about to see our first pass play there this series.
He was like, wait a minute, wait a minute.
Well, we're going to take a quick break here from Pike High School. 20-7, Panthers on top of the Red Devils here in your Big Network Game of the Week.
What if a car company didn't just build better cars, but help build something more, like community, family, futures? Well, that's exactly what Honda's doing, right here in Indiana. We're home of the award-winning Civic and CR-V, and home of the smart, stylish Insight Hybrid, all proudly built in Greensboro. We're support and stability, here and here. We're Honda, and we're building something more together.
Welcome back to Pike High School. The Red Devils trail the Panthers 20-7 in your Big Network Game of the Week. I'm Logan Hunt, alongside me, joined by Daryl Morton Jr. As right now it's been all North Central, starting from the opening kick with Richard Hamilton taking it 99 yards to the house to start this game, and it's been no look back as Abel drops back to pass and looking deep for Hamilton right on cue and throws this one well out of play.
Yeah, that one almost hit the track. I mean, he really just got that one out of there. But again, they haven't had the, users on tonight because they've been so effective with the run.
Abel needs just a little bit more touch on that, but he's only thrown the ball a handful of times already tonight.
Yeah.
Might be a little cold there on the sideline. Yeah. 2nd and 10, though, for North Central.
He threw it 23 times last week. But I doubt if he gets anywhere close to that tonight. He doesn't have to.
3 men still on the line here for the Red Devils, not straying away from their defense. Smith in motion again in the backfield. And again, Abel back to pass. Under pressure, it's a screen play out to Smith. Gets Almeida out in front. David Smith in the open field, finally brought down. Going to be a 1st down, though, as DeAndre Jefferson just got him down at the 20-yard line. 1st down, North Central.
I tell you, that pretty much set up nicely there, and there was really nobody in front. As you can see, Everybody just kind of rushed there. Look, there's no Red Devil able to make a play there. He just gets down the field and
it's all the way to the secondary.
To the secondary. By that time, it's too late. Chains move again.
Again, ball on the 20-yard line. Here comes Micah Green into the ball game. He'll get it again, right side, looking to get to the edge, makes a man miss, and is finally brought down by, looks like Kyron Montgomery for a gain of 6 on the play.
And so we talked about the Pike defense all year long, keeping them in games, keeping games close. They played Center Grove pretty tight last week, and they've had some tight ones. I played with Carmel through 3 quarters before they finally, just kind of lost control of that one. But tonight, North Central's come in here and this run attack has been slow, methodical, and effective.
Again, handoff to David Smith, looking outside, and will be pushed out of play. Kyron Montgomery again, the man 2 for the Red Devils. Has been maybe the best defensive player of the night so far for Pike.
Yes, absolutely. Again, got to make big plays, Pike. You got to make big plays. With 6 minutes and 38 seconds left here in the first half, going down another score is going to be very, very tough.
And a flag comes in from the far side official, and it is going to be a sideline infraction there on the North Central bench. As I mentioned, they had a warning earlier in this series, and that's going to back them up now 5 yards, as Coach Kevin O'Shea asking for a little bit of an explanation on what exactly happened.
Yeah, I mean, you're up 20-7. Why do you even need to do anything that would get you an infraction? That doesn't make sense at all.
So that's going to bring up a 3rd and 8 now for North Central. It was a 3rd and short, now 3rd and 8 for the Panthers. Ball spotted at the 18-yard line. Again, Smith in motion. Handoff Smith, looking to get to the edge, but absolutely nowhere to go. Antonio White coming up big for the Red Devils. Going to be a loss of 3 on the play. Ball back at the 20-yard line.
I'll tell you what, some pushing and shoving and kicking in there, but I feel like the officials do a great job of just kind of saying, hey, look, guys, move back, let's play football. Antonio says he got kicked at the end there, so let's just see what happened here. They stood him up and shut the play down really well there, but look at the end here. This is what Antonio's talking about right there.
Looks like he was still holding on there late, yeah.
Yeah.
And now we have an official timeout. As it looks like the official having a conversation with the 2 captains now.
Clean it up, gentlemen, clean it up. That's what he's saying here. Come on, we can't have this out here. It's too cold for this. That's what I would say.
And it looks like talking to Trayshawn Jones for the Red Devils and Jared Almeida for North Central. As I mentioned, 2 of the captains there. 4th and 10 for the Panthers. Ball on the 20-yard line, and the offense staying on the field. Playbook going to be open here. Abel out of the shotgun. Play action to Smith. Looking long for Hamilton. One-on-one. And this one easily swatted away. Incomplete pass there. And just an easy swat there for number 23, Ross Gardner. The junior's done a nice job tonight.
Well, on that particular play, he got his head around and saw the ball all the way in and knocked it down. As you can see him here, the ball, it's not a bad throw, but again, he just knocked it down. He was in the right place at the right time. Great defensive play by the Pike Red Devils.
We said at the start of this series that was a crucial time for the Pike defense to come alive with a short field, backs against the wall, already down 2 scores. They come up with the stop, and now a little bit of momentum shifting to the side of the Red Devils with 5:26 to go before or after. They can get some points on the board, changes the whole dynamic of the game.
Got to be able to move the football first. Move the football. Get a yard on first down. Let's start there.
Sayadella, play action, and just looks to throw this one away, but is going to be sacked back for a loss, and ball came out. Sayadella just getting back on it, and once again, Josiah Green, an absolute monster inside there.
I tell you what, he just came right. He is blowing his guy up. He just comes right up the middle there, and he was, before Sayadella knew anything, he was right on top of him.
Josiah Green, 6'2", 230 on that defensive line. I mentioned 4.5 sacks coming into this game.
So second down and a mile.
Loss of 12 on the play. And like I said, second and 22. Sayadella with a delayed handoff. And the ball came out yet again. And this one recovered by North Central as the Red Devils give it right back to the Panthers.
Okay. You know, it's almost, you don't know what to say in these situations. As you can see, the delayed handoff here, and it was just not a good.
He's looking for Williams,
Yeah.
and just nothing there.
Wasn't expecting it. The ball just got loose, and it's on the ground. But you give the Panthers tremendous field position here, an opportunity to go punch it right in on the short field. But again, Pike has got to be able to do something. And now, pretty much, they're putting themselves in a situation where they got to throw the ball for the rest of the game.
And Smith again up the middle, looking to get a big push, and finally brought back right at the 4-yard line. Got a couple on the play. Ball going to be at the 4-yard line as they started inside the 10-yard line on this drive.
Well, I'll tell you, again, tremendous field position. But I'm just concerned about the offense with Pike. You got to be able to move the ball. If you can't move it on first down, I mean, you're going to put yourself against the 8-ball every single time. And that's what we've seen every time since the first possession. Every single time.
2nd and 4 for North Central. 4 yards to the goal line. Handoff, Micah Green, and he waltzes right in for an easy score for the North Central Panthers as they go up 3 scores here against the Red Devils. And that one just too easy after getting the ball at the 6-yard line.
Well, I tell you what, I mean, very easy.
So Green getting his 2nd touchdown of the game. And really has been a nice wrinkle in this offense for the Panthers.
Absolutely has. And again, for Pike, now you're in a position where you absolutely have to throw the football for the rest of the game. You got guys, we talked about the guys they have that can make plays, that have made plays. Put them in a position to be successful. We talked about those short out routes, those slants they were running earlier that they were very effective on, but they've gone away from that, and it seems every time we see Pike, they start out, I mentioned earlier, they start out that way, and they go away from that.
Kick is up and good this time as hold got in all right. So score going to be 27-7 as right now North Central starting to run away from the Pike Red Devils. And we kind of harped on it here, but there hasn't been any resistance from that Red Devil defense as North Central has run the ball at will against that Pike defense, haven't even really attempted to look for the long ball here or there just to Richard Hamilton.
Just chunks, you know, turn and hands the ball, Abel turns and hands the ball off to Hamilton. He goes around and gets, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 yards, and they just move it down the field. No hurry. And then, what happens again, if you put your defense on the field time and time again without doing anything offensively, I mean, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough on the players, on the fans. This is cold out here. I mean, they came to see the little offense. You got to give them something. It's senior night.
We'd like to take this time, though, to thank Brand Visions for their support of the MIC Network. For all your sports or club apparel needs, your best play is Brand Visions. Looking for club t-shirts, company apparel, or team uniforms, Brand Visions will customize a look unique to your organization. No job is too small or too large for them. Make sure you see what they can do for you at thebrandvision.com. Just a few ticks under 4 minutes to go in this first half. 3-score lead for North Central. As Haig has this one teed up, ready to go, right on the 40-yard line. Booted it long on his last kickoff, but has squibbed it the last couple. And this one going to be no different. And dropped right down on at the 29-yard line there for the Red Devils. And you've talked about it, Daryl. We've seen the first couple, after the first series, the next couple series, it seems like Red Devils kind of went away from looking for some of those short passes here and there, and have really struggled. And on that last possession, a couple turnover, letting the ball get on the ground really affected them.
That's tough. I mean, you're inside your 10. You get a sack, and then you get a fumble. And we talked about the Red Devil defense being ahead of the offense. But at this point in the season, the offense has got to do a better job.
And timeout here, North Central. Coach Kevin O'Shea not liking what he's seeing from those guys out on the field as they came back out. You got to think that defense riding sky high right now, as they got a fumble on Seidel, I mentioned last time. Then get a fumble, return, have it right at the 6-yard line. Easy score for them. Moving forward, I think this is officially established North Central as an absolute contender for this MIC title.
Well, you know, I wasn't sure after week 1, after they got blown out in Fishers. I was not sure about North Central. I didn't know what to expect. But I tell you what, they've done a great job in turning things around. Again, that was just one loss. They're 4-1 right now. So what can you say? They are definitely a contender here, and some of these other teams better take notice. The North Central Panthers are here. Had a great season last year. They're here.
Absolutely, 5-2, 4-1 in conference. Could very well get right back to that 9-win season that we saw them have last year, the first time in many years they had seen that type of success, and Coach Kevin O'Shea doing it in just his 2nd year, now onto his 3rd year, and looking to surpass that record as Panthers, maybe one of the hottest teams in Indiana right now, blazed up to 7th in the AP poll, which is 2nd best in the MIC. As Seidel out of the shotgun, this time play action, rolling right, and had his man, but going to be dropped in the flat. Looked like that one was Xavier Simpson.
I'll tell you, that hit him right there in the hands. Xavier Simpson, usually very, very sure-handed there. Just slipped out of his hands and didn't come up with the play here. As we see the replay, Seidel gets his feet set, kinda.
But that was a
catchable ball. Definitely a catchable ball. I think Simpson knows it there as he pounds his hands into the turf.
2nd and 10 now. Foreman on the line for North Central. Seidel drop backs. Has time. Heaves one again to Simpson. This time he makes the grab. 1st down, Red Devils right at the 35-yard line. Theron Johnson coming up with the tackle.
I tell you what, that's called having confidence in your receiver there. We'll go right back to you, make a play. And he did. Moving the chains.
Xavier Simpson, one of the most effective receivers on the year. 28 receptions, over 300 yards, and 3 scores coming into this one. 3:30 on the clock. Again, Red Devils with 1 timeout remaining. North Central with 1 timeout remaining as well in this half. Man in motion, handoff now, and Carr got hit right there at the line. And he'll get right back to the line of scrimmage. Really nowhere to go as he's still down on the play and a little slow to get up.
Yeah, he took a shot there.
We take a look at it again.
Not a clean handoff there, but he tried to bounce out, and here comes took a shot there, maybe.
Looked like Micah Green met him there from the linebacking spot.
Maybe a shoulder there, maybe.
Well, we'll step aside as they attend to him. 27-7, North Central on top of the Red Devils.
The MIC Network Game of the Week allows students around the MIC to get hands-on experience while working alongside media professionals. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by the hardworking students that make it possible. The MIC Network, led by students, powered by champions.
We're back live at Pike High School. 27-7 is your score with Panthers right now rolling over the Red Devils as an injured Red Devil on the ground looks like getting up and getting to his feet. That was number 28, Gabe Carr, the junior running back, who's provided a good spark for the Red Devils at times throughout this year out of that backfield, but this time kind of took a shot and walking off gingerly now.
Yeah, he's walking off. That's a good sign that he's up and not having to be carted off the field.
This game right to a little slows down the momentum of the Red Devils. Just completed for a 1st down at Xavier Simpson right before the break, and now I'm going to bring up 2nd and 10.
Then you go back to the the handoff and the nothing on first down. I mean, you're effective. Those little short dink passes out there, you'd have to stop. Just stop us. We're going to do that until you stop us.
Seidel under a lot of pressure. Looking back, finds McLaughlin, and a screenplay there that ends up losing about a yard on the play, as looked like North Central all over that one.
I tell you what, it was a screenplay, but those Panthers were on the other side of the door, waiting on that one.
Micah Green again reading it well. So 3rd and 11.
3rd and long, so you got to go down the field. You do not want to give up the ball this fast. Again, we talked about it all night long. Hopefully that's not the theme for the rest of the night, so let's see what happens here.
Mitchell in motion again. Panthers showing blitz. Seidel rolling right under pressure. Heaves one long, has a man wide open. Xavier Simpson making the grab, but a flag back in the backfield is going to bring this back for a holding call.
Wow, I tell you what, somehow Xavier Simpson got behind the defense. I'm not sure how he got back there, but there was not a Panther back there at all.
Holding call going to be on the right tackle. Watkins has absolutely took down, looked like Josiah Green with them, as North Central was getting some pressure in, and there was nothing else for them to do. So it's going to be a holding call against the Red Devils. Going to be a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. And that's going to push them all the way back close to the 15-yard line. So 3rd and a mile for the Red Devils with just over 2 minutes to go. And this is where Coach Kevin O'Shea might think about using that final timeout if they get a stop here and try to work something up the field for maybe one final score before half.
Put more points on the board and really just put this thing out of reach.
As the Red Devils are going to sit on this one and let some clock run off. It's like under 2 minutes in this first half before they take a snap. And it really has been a lopsided first half and what started out as a very promising first quarter for the Red Devils.
First possession, I'd say. All right. First couple of possessions. But, you know, it's just...
And a quick timeout there from Coach Kevin O'Shea right on cue.
You know, and I hate to be a downer, but, you know, you see things out here. The offense has got to do a better job. Again, we talked about the offense catching up. They got to do a better job. And here, as you can see, there's just nothing there. There has not been nothing there. There's not going to be anything there.
Let's take a second. That was Micah Green coming in. He's had a phenomenal game on both sides of the ball. Talked about already with 2 scores on the ground. There's been no resistance for him running the ball or David Smith, as you know, he got it going into halftime. Coach Kevin O'Shea is going to say, "I'm proud of you guys. We ran the ball exactly what we wanted to do." And if you're the Red Devils, you got to figure out a way to stop that run.
Football is about adjustment. So again, that's why you're going into halftime, and that just got to go in and figure out what to say to this team to get them out here, to get them engaged here in the second half. We've seen them come back. We've seen that. So certainly it's not out of question.
Well, here, if you're Zach Smith, the punter for the Pike Red Devils, averages about 38 yards a punt. You have Richard Hamilton staying at the 40. We mentioned he took the opening kickoff, 99 yards for a score. One of the most electrifying players you'll see in the state of Indiana is this one, an end-over-end punt. Hamilton not even going to give it a go, as this one does take a friendly Pike hop down at the 48-yard line. So again, starting in Red Devil territory for this North Central Panther offense with 1:35 to go, no timeouts remaining. Clock stops though after a first down to move the chains. So we'll see if the Panthers try to throw the ball, air it out a little bit. So David Smith averaging about 6 yards a carry. He might keep it on the ground.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the smart thing. You know, he's going to get you 6.
Again, Smith in the backfield with Abel. This time Abel, quick screen play to Hamilton through his hands and out of bounds. Incompletion there for North Central.
Tell you what, that's dangerous because that ball was tipped. That could have been picked off over there.
Clock does stop though off the incompletion. 2nd and 10 for North Central, as it looks like willing to open it up just a little bit offensively. And you saw the nice hand there from Kyron Montgomery, kind of adjusting that and forcing a higher pass from Abel than he wanted.
They made him throw over him. So again, last week DeAndre Jefferson came away with an interception last week.
Kyron Montgomery been all over the field for the Red Devils defensively. Handoff Smith, bobbing and weaving his way forward to the 46-yard line. Gain of a couple. Gonna bring up third and about 7. Clock nearing 1 minute to go in this second quarter.
And this will be a small victory for the Red Devils if they're able to shut them down here. Because again, they've been moving the ball at will.
Under a minute now. It's 3rd and 7 for Abel. Play clock nearing 5 seconds. And again, handoff Smith left side, has a hole, gets to the edge. Tiptoeing down the sideline and looks like stepped out just shy of that first down marker from where the lines judge has him. Going to be short about 1 yard.
Wow, I tell you what, he got around there. He came really close here, as you can see. Just look at his feet here at the end there. He gets around there and just waits and then accelerates and he steps out. I tell you what, that's very close.
I'll tell you, 4th and 1 though, 43 seconds remaining. Clock would stop off of a first down here for the Panthers, who are out of timeouts with 15 seconds on the play clock. As this offense staying out on the field.
I'll tell you what, it's a big possession here. Pike shuts him down here. This is a victory if they shut him down here.
And the Red Devils showing blitz. Handoff Smith, looking for a hole, gets it outside. He will get that and then some. Down at the 36-yard line, first down, North Central with 37 seconds on the clock. Looks like Abel looking to spike the ball here, and does with 34 seconds remaining. It'll be a 2nd and 10 for North Central. Well, Scott Hogue has hit a couple field goals this year, 5 of 7, a long of 32 yards. So still quite a ways to go for North Central, but he would have the wind to his back.
So what are his stats in the elements? You have that. You have to add that information for us.
Well, we haven't had any elements so far.
That's right. It's been pretty
this
nice
season.
Nice football season so far. It's just tonight came and all of a sudden everybody's shocked out here because we haven't seen it.
Well, a big break there as they got a late Red Devil getting out onto the field, so it gives 5-yard penalty for North Central as they move the ball forward as Abel again looking to air it out. Zips one over the middle, looking for Hamilton, going to be incomplete.
It's great defense there.
2nd and 5 with 29 seconds to go. Ball on the 31-yard line for North Central, looking to tack on a couple more points here before halftime in a game that has gone their way so far. Again, Abel out of the shotgun. Smith just to his left in the backfield. Abel looking left side, firing, and going to be incomplete. So he was looking for Connor Thompson, the junior.
He was looking for him, but I tell you that ball floated up there just a little bit, and it was. I tell you what, the Red Devils were looking at that and almost had a shot to pick that off.
3rd and 5 with about 25 seconds to go. The Panthers exclusively look to pass the ball here with no timeouts remaining. You got to think Richard Hamilton might be the target guy on this one. Jalen Law isolated over on him. Again, a really good cornerback for the Red Devils. This one going to be a handoff to Smith. Oh, dear. Kyron Montgomery sniffed it out.
I tell you what, he was not fooled at all on that one.
Pike using their final timeout of this half after the stop on 3rd down.
Look at this. He just came right through untouched, and he wasn't going anywhere. So much for your 6 yards of carry. He was all over the top of that one. Wow.
Montgomery been the playmaker so far defensively for the Red Devils. As mentioned, Coach Hutch using that final timeout with 17 seconds to go in this first half. 4th and 11 for North Central. As the Red Devils looking for any maybe hope here if they could block a punt or return the punt for a score here. We'll see exactly what North Central decides to do with so little time left to go, but neither team with any timeouts remaining. This has been a long end to the first half for the North Central Panthers. They look like decided to try to run the clock out. The Red Devils having other ideas.
Absolutely. Again, even if you run a couple of plays to get you going, get your juices flowing for the second half, because again, we talked about trying to set up plays that lead to bigger plays. They've got to do a little bit of better job on first and second down. We talked about that ad nauseum.
Well, the offense staying on the field for North Central. Mentioned it, 4th and 11 for North Central. 3 men on the line for the Pike Red Devils. Again, Abel drops back under pressure, throws this one over the head of Martin, the tight end, nowhere to go. Incompletion, turnover on downs with 12 seconds to go for Pike.
So if you're the Red Devils here, do you take a shot? Take a couple shots downfield, or just go into the halftime down 27-7? If you're Coach Etch, what would I do? I would probably take a couple of shots to get my receivers used to, running some of these routes and making plays here. I would definitely run at least a couple plays. Looks like we got a.
Well, it looks like we see unsportsmanlike conduct going to be called here on North Central. I'll move them 15 yards down the field. So it looked like the North Central player just ran in there to the official and unintentional contact there, but still good enough for a penalty for the Red Devils. It's moved closer to the 50-yard line. So still, we'll see if the Red Devils give it a shot. Seidel back to pass, looking for the corner, and couldn't find Sanders. Incomplete with 8 seconds to go.
And I'm okay with it. Again, just get used to throwing the ball down the field.
Let's see maybe how big Seidel's arm is here. Receivers going long. Seidel hit as he thrown. Oh, intercepted. Josiah Green taking it to the house. 49-yard interception return for a score. There is a flag behind the play, though.
I tell you, Josiah Green has been all over the place. Wow.
Well, there is a flag behind the play here. If it stands, though, Josiah Green would have an interception return for a score.
So.
And is going to be, like the penalty, going to go against the North Central Panthers.
So look, Seidel didn't see him come in there. He just got hit and the ball just was in the air, intercepted, and he's off to the races.
What a play there. And there is no time remaining on the clock. So again, this ball going to be spotted back at the 45-yard line. Another sideline warning on that North Central sideline.
I'll tell you what, that's been the only down thing that we can point at that they've done wrong tonight is that number 4 for them.
So again, an untimed down here for North Central as they take over at the 45-yard line off of the penalty that hindered the interception return for a touchdown. Again, another sideline warning on, or sideline infraction, on North Central. So it counts as a personal foul penalty. Already their 4th of this first half.
And just take a knee here and get into the locker room if you're North Central.
So finally we'll see here. Looks like Abel going to just take a knee on an untimed down for North Central, and a bizarre ending to to this first half. The interception stands, but the penalty came after the interception. So North Central goes into halftime up 27-7 against the Pike Red Devils, and a lot of work to do here for Pike.
Absolutely a lot of work here to do for Pike. I mean, X has got to go in there and, again, motivate his team and figure out what he can do to make these adjustments to get his team back in the game in the second half.
We'll have second half action for you when we return here on the MIG Network Game of the Week. 27-7, North Central leading Pike.
What if a car company didn't just build better cars, but help build something more, like community, family, futures? Well, that's exactly what Honda's doing, right here in Indiana. We're home of the award-winning Civic and CR-V, and home of the smart, stylish Insight Hybrid, all proudly built in Greensburg. We're support and stability, here and here. We're Honda, and we're building. What if a car company didn't just build better cars, but help build something more, like community, family, futures? Well, that's exactly what Honda's doing, right here in Indiana. We're home of the award-winning Civic and CR-V, and home of the smart, stylish Insight Hybrid, all proudly built in Greensburg. We're support and stability, here and here. We're Honda, and we're building something more together.
The MIG Network Game of the Week is a proud product of Frontrunner Media's Next Generation initiative. Thanks to Frontrunner, the MIG Network Game of the Week allows students around the MIG to get hands-on experience while working alongside media professionals. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by the hardworking students that make it possible. The MIG Network, led by students, powered by champions.
It's always a special night, seniors that have played for 4 years get an opportunity to celebrate on the field with their family before the game, and just it always brings a cool atmosphere. And this is the last football game that I can guarantee these kids to play on this field. So obviously the draw in the playoffs, we could get another one, but it's just a special night to celebrate what these kids have done over their 4 years.
How are the seniors impacted this year?
It's always toughest on the senior class coming in with a new coach because everything changes for them. They have a routine they're used to, but they've really bought in. They've worked hard, and just really proud of this group of seniors. Even though the record's not what we'd want it to be, we talked about that's not what defines us this week, and we're playing good football, and we just got to figure out a way to hopefully come out with a victory on Friday.
I'm gonna miss playing with my brothers at home because it feels good to play a home game, and just knowing it's my last home game, it's crazy.
It's really just another game. It's going to be a real bittersweet moment. It's been a fast 4 years, faster than I thought. So I'm just going to attack it like any other game. Let's go to work.
It's going to be a good atmosphere, but it is just another game. We got to come out, be ready to get a win this night. And it's been a long, I've only been here 2 years, but it's been a long 2 years, and I don't regret playing.
Thank you, Colin Pop Jones. Cumberland, this is Kyle speaking.
The pizza's here!
Give me my Papa John's.
The cheese is my favorite. I love plain.
Is that Supreme? Good.
I really like it.
Network Game of the Week.
Just a pep. You know, they scored touchdowns here. You gotta be able to get these guys off the field. Nice punt.
Yeah.
I love just the music and the culture.
Dance and
The people, the culture. We love to party and we love to have a good time.
favorite food.
Tortas, tacos, tostadas,
Tinga.
Pupusas.
Empanadas, tacos, enchiladas, and bollo.
Fried plantains. We just call them plátanos. And salami is really good.
We're all unified, and it's just like the familiar aspect.
All Latinos.
Are not the same.
We come in all colors and backgrounds.
I want people to understand that.
Allow us to tell you who we are.
I love being Colombian.
And Salvadorian.
Guatemala, Honduras,
Mexican, Dominican.
Here at Pike High School, we celebrate everyone of Hispanic heritage.
We are Pike family. Pike.
Prague.
What if a car company didn't just build better cars, but help build something more, like community, family, futures? We're Honda, and we're building something more right here in Indiana.
The goal of the Empty Bowls project is to raise money to help support food banks within our community. This year, the food bank that we've chosen is the Old Bethel Food Bank. How it works is that all the different schools, the students of all the different schools in the MIC conference, they make bowls, and then they deliver them to us, and then we put them out for display. People come and buy a meal. Here's a ticket, an example of a ticket. So they'll buy a meal for $10, and then they get to choose whatever bowl that they want to take with them. And so the whole idea of the empty bowls is to represent those that might be in need of food. And so this is a really worthy event, and we really like it, and our kids are doing a great job creating bowls. It's December the 4th.
Thank you, Pop Johns. Cumberland, this is Kyle speaking.
This year, the girls had 10 wins, which is the most wins that they've had in 7 seasons. So it was definitely a build off last year. When I first came in as a coach, we only won 2 games. And so last year we improved to 6, and this year we improved to 10. So I tell them it's all about the progress. We might not have won state this year, but we're continuing to get better, and we're building a program. Yeah, so that's why I put all the success this year is really all on the seniors and the group of girls, right? It's not me coming in, but it's the seniors came together. They've shown up every day in practices. They've come to all of the off-season things. And this year, Nia scored 17 goals, which is almost more goals than we scored all of last season. So it's unbelievable. Then we also have in our back line Trinity Barnes, Alicia Addison, and Jasmine Quarles back there that we let in almost half of the goals this year that we did last year. So big improvement.
The MIC Network Game of the Week is presented by Papa John's, the Indianapolis Marriott East Center, Brand Visions, and Frontrunner Media.
Back to Pike High School, where the North Central Panthers have invaded Red Devil territory as they leave 27-7 at halftime. I'm Logan Ellis, joined by Daryl Morton Jr. And Daryl, it's been all Panthers here in this first half.
All Panthers, 3-3-1. You know, 3 3-and-outs, 3 turnovers, 1 touchdown. That's not enough to get things done here at Pike. Again, Etch has got to go in at halftime, make some adjustments, and come out here and compete in the second half.
Absolutely, and we've seen a bit of a different Pike Red Devil offense as well. Some of it due in part to the elements that we saw with a lot of the rain coming down and the harsh winds, but we saw them trying to establish a run game that just wasn't happening.
Well, you know, that's what we've seen pretty much the recipe for the year, try to establish the run, and sometimes it were effective, other times it wasn't. Tonight with the elements, we thought it would be effective, but it wasn't. As we look at the highlights here, all North Central, as you can see, the opening kick go back 97 yards, touchdown, 16 seconds, you're already up 7-0.
Say Richard Hamilton has been one of the best playmakers in the state of Indiana, and he started out just doing that with a big play there to Xavier Simpson for Seidella that set up the easy score to Will Allen. He pounded in from a couple yards out, and that was back-to-back. We saw a kickoff return, then we see Pike walk down the field and answer, and then all of a sudden North Central finds this man, Micah Green, comes out of nowhere, starts running over guys, and gets in for another score to push up North Central 14-7. Couple 3-and-outs, an interception later from Seidella, and then it was all David Smith and North Central. They were rumbling forward to a 20-7 lead in the second quarter. Couple turnovers again from North Central, a fumble and Pike fumbling it around on a couple possessions, put North Central in easy position to go up 27-7, and pretty much from there, that's all she wrote. And what was a long ending first half at the end with not much to show for. But it has been all North Central. Offensively, defensively, they've had a short field to work with, and that has been the one man that has been a bright spot defensively for Pike is Kyron Montgomery.
He has been all over the field. Again, they're going to need more of that in the second half, but if you're Pike, you have to keep your defense off the field and get the offense. Again, we talked about the slant out of the backfield, some of those quick things. They got to get more of that to be more effective in the second half.
Absolutely, and if you're North Central, you go into halftime up with a 20-point advantage. We saw a little bit of miscue on the extra point. That's been about all. Besides some of the sideline warnings and infractions has come from there. That's been the only defense.
They got to clean that up. Again, the miss, extra point. But other than that, they've been pretty much perfect all night long. But again, they established a run with these elements. They came in and did what they had to do. And again, like you said, 27-7 at halftime. It's a cakewalk.
Absolutely. The rain is starting to hold off now. We're getting into just colder weather. I'm glad we're inside, not having to get out there and bear the elements. But still, right now, the Red Devils with a lot of work to do to get back into this one against North Central. 27-7 is your score. We will have second half kickoff coming to you next here from MIC Network Game of the Week.
What if a car company didn't just build better cars, but help build something more, like community, family, futures. Well, that's exactly what Honda's doing, right here in Indiana. We're home of the award-winning Civic and CR-V, and home of the smart, stylish Insight Hybrid, all proudly built in Greensburg. We're support and stability, here and here. We're Honda, and we're building something more together.
Thank you, calling Pop John's Cumberland. This is Kyle speaking.
The pizza's here!
The MIC Network Game of the Week is a proud product of Frontrunner Media's Next Generation initiative. Thanks to Frontrunner, the MIC Network Game of the Week allows students around the MIC to get hands-on experience while working alongside media professionals. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by the hardworking students that make it possible. The MIC Network, led by students, powered by champions.
We're back at the George C. Grosskopf Stadium side Pike High School with the Red Devils trailing the 7th-ranked North Central Panthers 27-7 at halftime. I'm Logan Hunt, alongside joined by Daryl Morton Jr. as everyone shimmies back to their seat for second half action between these two mixed squads. And I tell you what, Daryl, North Central look more and more like a MIC contender and possible a team that could be playing on Thanksgiving come November.
I'll tell you what, they are on a streak here. We talked about it, a little bit after week one, the interceptions. We just saw it. We were actually at another site and just saw the scores rolling in, and we knew what we saw from North Central last year. We expected more in that first game, but sometimes, you just have those games. But they've actually put together a good run here. 4-1 in the MIC right now, 5-2 overall. This is a good football team.
As we touch on some of the other games going on around the MIC this Friday night, Ben Davis at Lawrence Central. They lead at halftime 18-14 as the Giants right now are on a 3-game win streak of their own. Center Grove is hosting Lawrence North High School, and they lead 14-13. Lawrence North looking to pick up their first win in conference and trying to do it on the road against a depleted Center Grove team. And Warren Central travels to Carmel High School. The Greyhounds lead 7-0 at halftime there. So a couple close scores from around the MIC. We mentioned the parity over and over again between all these squads. And you take a look at a team like Lawrence North right now. They're 0-5 in the MIC, and they're just trailing by 1 point to Center Grove at halftime.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's with parity. Usually this time there's a clear runaway team or two in the MIC, and it just hasn't happened this year. And I think for the fans, it's been actually pretty good.
Scott Hogue has the ball teed up at the 40-yard line. We've seen him squib at the majority of this contest as the Pike Red Devils will receive to start this second half of play, and they're going to need something to start quick as you can see the wind picking up. Ball dropping off the tee. As we mentioned, the rain has slowed down considerably. Still a steady mist out there, but it's the wind that is making this real tough.
That and the uniforms are wet. You're wet. It's just not good. But again, I'm glad we're in here.
Easy squib there, and Red Devils get down on it right at about the 33-yard line, so that's where Pike will set up shop to start their second half of action, and this is somewhere I'd love to see the Red Devils taking a strike downfield early, trying to come out quick.
Well, I think you have to come out and establish the fact that you are going to throw the ball because North Central has been waiting for that first play, and it's been the same the last couple of possessions. And that's just something try to off the tackle right up the middle, and they just shut it down really, really easily.
Seidella in the backfield. Going to be joined by Williams. 3 receivers, top side of the screen, hand off. Play action, and gets it out wide to Simpson as Seidella went down. but going to be a gain of about 5 on the play for the Red Devils.
And that is what we've seen before. You know, when they start games, they're pretty effective just throwing those short, little outs right there, getting 3 and 4 yards.
Simpson a little shaken up. In 2nd and 5. Hard count. Seidela handoff, and looked like he wanted to keep that one, but Williams kept it himself and dropped just a couple on the play as the North Central defense is not going to allow the Red Devils to run the football.
Well, it looks like somebody's not on the same page there, because it looked like he wanted to pull that out and just wasn't able to, and North Central defense just swallowed him up and just, the play's a loss now.
Loss of 3 makes it 3rd and 8. Opening series for Pike. And again, over the head there, looking for number 13, Elijah McLaughlin. And that one just went flying over and looking for a quick screenplay, so 3 and out for the Red Devils.
And, we talked about the conditions here. Sometimes the ball just slips out of your hand. I think that did slip out of his hand and just went a little bit higher than what he wanted. And McLaughlin didn't have a shot at that at all.
Smith comes back out, punt this one away, standing near his own 20. Hamilton right at the 45-yard line. Smith just gets this one away. Hamilton not even looking to field it. Also the Faircats and lets that one trickle inside the 35-yard line. So the Panthers will start out from the 33-yard line to start this second half of action, and Red Devils just couldn't capitalize on the opportunity there.
They could not. And again, you come out at halftime, you have the ball for 1 minute and 16 seconds and turn it over to the North Central offense. You know what they're going to do. It's going to be a steady diet of running the football. But if you're Pike, you got to come out here and make a play to get the ball back in the hands of your offense to try to cut the lead in this game down a little bit.
Smith out there, handoff to him, and he is met in the backfield again. Kyron Montgomery.
I tell you what, that young man is playing a tremendous game. He seems to be in everything that's positive for the Red Devils he's been involved in.
Drops Smith for a loss of 2 on the play, brings up 2nd and 12. We mentioned it, Kyron Montgomery has been the bright spot defensively for Pike High School in that first half and picking up right where he left off. Again, Abel out of the shotgun. Smith still in the backfield with him. High snap, Abel, broken play, keeps it himself and just falls forward, but loses about 4 on the play as Antonio White was right in there on him.
I tell you what, he wasn't fooled by that at all. Again, it was a high snap, and Antonio didn't lose focus of that. Actually got him to the ground there. I tell you what, Pike defense is actually starting to step it up a little bit, but they got to shut it down here to get the ball back.
3rd and 16 on the opening series for the Panthers, having some trouble moving the ball. 2 negative plays to start. See if they decide to air it out. Smith in motion, Abel. Again, handoff Smith right side. And he's eaten alive by Kyron Montgomery. Again, dropped for a loss on the plays. Kyron Montgomery comes up with 2 TFLs on this series.
I'll tell you what, he has come out ready to play here in this 3rd quarter. He just fights his way through there, and he just makes the tackle there without a doubt. Again, he's ready to play here in this 3rd quarter.
And a good defensive stop there for the Red Devils, showing some resistance, something that we did not see in that first half. As Jalen Law back to return to his own 35. Line drive kick as Law has to let this one roll far and away from him as that drops out right at the 20-yard line. So a great flip of the field there for North Central.
I'll tell you what, it was just a decent kick, but the roll there made it tremendous as, like you said, they really did flip the field. So here come the Red Devils again. Let's see how they come out.
And kicking it like that is almost impossible to get any type of return as well.
Yeah, it's actually just going to bounce. You just never know what the ball is going to do. And the best thing you can do if you're a receiver is just stay away from the ball.
Seidela coming back out on the field after an early 3 and out for the Red Devils. Starting out from the 20-yard line now. 3 receivers bottom of your screen. Again, Seidel looking quick right side, has his man. Completion there. Easy pitch and catch to Xavier Simpson for a game of 5.
That should be the name of the ball game for the Red Devils. Pitch and catch.
And we've talked about it. This is the Red Devil offense that we're accustomed to seeing, those quick plays, screen plays, out routes.
Get your 4 or 5 a play. Then they just kind of go away from that from time to time, and that gets them in trouble.
And no one was on the same page there.
And so,
and going to be
defense.
Offsides there on North Central. So a little bit of jump on the far side of the screen. So that's going to move the Red Devils forward for a first down.
Well, that's one way to move the chains. That's one way to move the chains. But again, the North Central, the Pike offense, when they do those short, quick out plays, 4 and 5 yards a pop. And again, it looks like there might be another flag here. They got back, I guess.
Nice use, though, of the hard count. Coming up on 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. Again, Seidel rolling left side. Has time and space. Off the back foot, finds his man, Mitchell. And Chris Mitchell comes up with the reception. 15 yards down the field for a first down.
And again, real quickly, the Pike Red Devils move the chains again. Get him out of the pocket there and roll him out a little bit, and he actually makes a really good throw here on the run.
Had to turn across his body there, and real nice grab, a nice tackle there from Larry Campbell as well. Again, looking for that hard count. Not gonna get the Panthers to jump. Darius Williams in the backfield with Seidel, play action, looking that way. Looking long, has his man, has Mitchell, it goes right through his hands, had to turn back for it. Incompletion there.
Well, I'll tell you what, that defense arrived just at the same time the ball did. I think it was actually a great defensive play if we watch the replay here. The ball's up here, and defender is same time, but it was just a little bit long there.
As Campbell down on his knees there by the 25-yard line, maybe got the wind knocked out of him. Slow to get up as have the official coming over talking to him and have an official's timeout as well. Looks like he'll exit the game as Luke Miller comes in for him for what may be just a couple plays. Larry Campbell, a good junior safety. I mentioned 50 tackles coming into this game and 3 interceptions already in that secondary. So that's going to bring up 2nd and 10, ball on the 44-yard line. 7:19 to go in this third quarter. To get everyone situated. Making sure I have enough bodies out on the field. Official got them to get back to playing Friday night football. 4 on the line for the Panthers. Again, Seidel a handoff. Williams bounces it outside. And a nice strong run there from Williams, crosses the 50-yard line.
And that's one of the situations where all those pass plays set that up. Great run.
One hard cut, and it was a gain of 7. 3rd and short now.
But you can't fall in love with the run. Go back at what's been working.
Hurry up offense as Seidel whips it outside for Sanders, trying to spin his way free, but nowhere to go as Jaden Ward comes up with the tackle behind the line of scrimmage.
I'll tell you what, he actually played that well. He caught him there and spun it around. I thought he would be able to shake loose there, but he wasn't able to, and he went down again for the loss there. But again, I like Pike throwing the football.
4th and 4, ball on the 50-yard line, midway through the third quarter. Seidel runs into Williams, scrambling, looking out wide, and it is going to be intercepted by Ward right at the 44-yard line. And another interception there for the Panthers defense, and a turnover for Pike High School.
And as you can see from the start, there was a collision there in the backfield. And at that point, Seidel's just running for his life there and just kind of releases the ball. Unfortunately, it was to a Panther there, picked off. Here come the North Central Panthers once again. But the defense, again, the last possession for Pike played very well. They're just going to have to be asked to do it again here. Step up and shut them down again.
Jaden Ward with his 2nd interception of the season. Coming up big for the Panthers on that 4th down. It was a quick 3 and out. Last time the Panthers were out here in the third quarter. Delayed handoff there to Smith. And he'll be brought down right at the 49-yard line as I think Isaiah Curtis made the tackle there. Second and 7 for North Central. Again, something you don't see too often. Harry Abel going to get the play call all the way from the sideline from Kevin O'Shea as they huddle up, something that you don't see in the high school game as much.
You don't, but again, you know, with a lead like this, you can pretty much do anything you want.
Again, Abel out of the shotgun. Smith just to his left in the backfield. This time they pull guard to the left side, looking for the counter, and Smith drops forward for a gain of 1. Gonna bring up 3rd and 6.
And so far this half, the Red Devils have done a lot better job, you know, against the run.
DeAndre Jefferson coming in on the tackle there. Once again, could be 4-down territory here for North Central, the way they've moved the ball. The Red Devil defense, though, has done a nice job containing the run this half.
They really have.
3 receivers top side of your screen. Hamilton in the slot. And now a timeout here from Abel, as there was a lot of confusion from the Panthers, and they're going to have to burn an early timeout in this third quarter.
The clock was running down there, too. There's a lot of things going on there, so let's just get a timeout. Gentlemen, let's just talk about it. You know, we're up about 20 points, so we can afford to lose it right here.
We'll take a quick break with them. 27-7, North Central on top of the Red Devils. 3rd down play coming on the flip side of this commercial.
Thank you, calling Pop John's Cumberland. This is Kyle speaking.
The pizza's here! Give me my Papa John's. The cheese is my favorite. I love the plain.
Is that Supreme?
We're back live at Pike High School. 3rd and 5. Abel out of the timeout, looking long for Martin, and that's going to be incomplete. Too far ahead of him there. And that's going to bring up 4th down for the North Central Panthers.
And again, the Pike defense stood tall there. But Abel tonight on his passes, though, he's been a little long on a couple of them. He just lets it go, and it just kind of floats on him.
So they will force a punt again. Another stop coming from Pike High School as forcing another 3 and out in this third quarter from North Central. I mentioned there's only 1 3 and out that North Central had in that first half. Haig standing at his own 40. Law back at the 15 and directs this punt. He'll drop at the 25, and now we'll roll inside the 20-yard line. So again, a nice punt here from North Central, flipping the field.
Tell you what, he actually made a bad situation potential, because that ball, that punt that actually was snapped, it rolled back to him. He picked it up and then made the kick there. So good poise by that gentleman.
Well, the MIG Network would like to welcome back Papa John's as a title partner for the MIG Network Game of the Week. With over 30 locations in the central Indiana area, great pizzas always nearby. So after the game, enjoy a hot, delicious Papa John's pizza. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. So the Red Devils found something that worked in that last series. Ended up, though, in a 4th down interception from Seidel, his 3rd of the evening.
Well, they were able to move the ball a little bit here. And again, they got to go back to that formula to kind of keep the Panthers off balance a little bit.
Seidel looking left side. And it's intercepted by Theron Johnson, his second of the game, right at the 21-yard line.
It looked like Theron Johnson just sat on that and waited because Seidela just kind of didn't look him off there, and he just stepped around the receiver there, made the reception there. Interception, and as you can see here, Seidela did step back, get his feet set, but never looked away. The whole time he was just waiting.
And
makes the interception.
Great starting field position again, as saw the intended receiver there, Anthony Brookins. Couldn't quite get in front of it and looked at the whole way there. And Johnson's second INT of this ball game with 4:28 to go in the third quarter. North Central offense right back out on the field, and a bit of a backbreaker there for the Pike defense.
That's a backbreaker. Again, they have to throw the ball, but again, when you got to look guys off there because he looked at him the whole way.
Kevin Todd coming in.
This.
Couldn't quite bring David Smith down, but led the charge all the way back to the 29-yard line.
I'll tell you what, he just shot right through there, and
well, the Red Devils are starting
the defense is looking really good in this half.
Pushing them out of field goal range as well. David Smith never had a chance there, looking at his offensive line going, what happened, guys?
Let's see where he came through. He just comes flying through there. Look at that.
Unblocked. Took him all the way back.
And then just slipped. He almost got out of there, but again, here come the rest of the Pike Red Devils.
Second and 18. Play action. Abel looking long. And it's going to be again incomplete. Nice play there from Kyson Allen breaking up the pass. So third and long for North Central, and might look about just putting this one in possible field goal range, just getting a chunk of that back.
Getting a chunk of it back and putting your team in a position to be able to pick up 3 points here. But again, whatever it said to the defense at half, it really took, because they've come out and really played a lot better here in this half.
The adjustments have been made. Under 10 on the play clock. Panthers going to have to hurry to get this play off. And they just do. Hand off to Smith, cuts it back towards the middle of the field, now out left, and just gets brought down at the 25-yard line. Shoestring tackle there by Dodo.
Well, I'll tell you what, he had room there. He made that final cut there, and I thought he was going to be able to shake loose, but again, Dodo was able to bring him down. It's going to bring a fourth down, and let's see what the Panthers are going to do on this particular play.
At this point, I think you go for it on 4th and 14 from the 25-yard line. A punt doesn't do you much good, just out of field goal range for sure, and you're able going to trot back out there, and 4th and long. Pike defense looking to come up with a big stand here. Smith to Abel's right. Hamilton in motion. Play action on the sweep. And Abel sacked back for a loss at the 35-yard line. Isaiah Curtis getting in there.
I tell you what, how about the Red Devil defense in this half? Unbelievable. These guys have come through, in a lot of cases, unblocked. Same thing there, and make big plays. Great defense so far in this half for Pike. Now, again, the offense has got to do some things. Got to start moving the ball down the field, get some first downs, and put the team in a position to score some points.
And better starting field position here for the Red Devils. Starting over at the 34-yard line, 1st and 10. And how about that? I mean, North Central starting near the 20-yard line, almost in the red zone, and come up with no points.
Well, I tell you what, we talked about the Red Devil defense. The defense has been there all year long, so that's no surprise.
Play action. Seidela looking long, and oh, it's dropped. Xavier Simpson had it right at the chest there. Perfect ball.
I'll tell you what,
that would have been 6.
That would have been 6 because it hit him right there, and he hit that in stride too. Let's look at that again here. Let's see if it got tipped or anything. But that ball is right there. He's got to make that catch. Got to make that catch, and he's walking into the end zone for 6.
Incomplete, 2nd and 10. North Central dodging one there. The Red Devils have come here to play in the second half. Again, Seidela looking over the head of Sanders. Just like that, 3rd and 10 now for Pike.
Looks like Sanders might have injured himself there as he kind of jogs back gingerly.
So big third down play here for the Red Devils, looking to move the sticks with 2:37 to go in this third quarter. Again, 4 down on the line for North Central. Seidela over the middle. Again, looks for Simpson. And official call is that he caught it right at the 47-yard line. First down, Pike.
I'll tell you what's Wade Simpson make that up. Come back and make that play. That was actually a more difficult reception to make there, but he made it. And the Pike Red Devils are moving the sticks here.
Forced him to adjust and did just that. Now into Panther territory. Again, Red Devils moving the football here. Delayed handoff. Williams, head of steam moving forward. Lowers his shoulder. Drops his way forward for a gain of 8 or 9 on the play.
I'll tell you what, and again, that's the way you set up your offense. You set up your run by being very effective with some of your pass plays, and they've done that, and this set this play up, and as you can see here, was able to bounce it outside and pick up some very positive yards for the Red Devils.
Big play there. Brings up 2nd and 1. And Red Devils finding some success on this series. Hand off to Williams. He's brought down immediately in the backfield. Big play there for North Central as Jacob Fiedler all in on it.
Bring up 2nd down and long here, so let's see if they go back to the air here to try to reestablish themselves.
3rd and 3, ball on the 40-yard line. Low snap, play action, Seidela looking, has his man Simpson again past the 30-yard line. First down, Red Devils. And a penalty in the backfield. Going to be a roughing the passer call, so tack on some extra yards to this one.
Let's see how, let's check out the end of the play here at the quarterback here as Seidela gets outside and he's just hit.
Josiah Green brings him down there. Didn't like that call?
I don't know. There was a lot there. I mean, said that Seidela just taps him on the shoulder. Great play there. I'm not sure if they. Seidela must be in those acting classes at Pike.
Tack on the 15 yards there. Ball on the 14-yard line. Inside the red zone for the Red Devils. 1:08 to go in the third quarter. Red Devils look poised to put some points on the board. Seidela keeping himself again, and that's going to be a flag coming.
He was early. He was early. He was all over the top of him there. Handing back.
Fulton Vincent was the intended receiver, and Darren Johnson already has 2 interceptions on the evening. Got that just a little bit early.
He saw number 3. He was all over there. He read his eyes there, but again, he had his hand in his back when he jumped through him.
So it is going to be defensive pass interference. Now we'll inch the Red Devils inside the 10-yard line. 1st and 3, ball on the 7. Seidela looking left, rolling right now, under pressure, and throws this one, looking for Simpson.
And could get another flag there. Simpson wants a flag there, and I think he has a case because there was a lot of contact there. He has a case.
A couple Panthers came over the top, but no call. 2nd down now for the Red Devils. If we take another look at it.
Yeah, watch this. And Seidela rolls out of there, and he gets rid of it, but look at this contact. Right, look at that.
Hunter coming over the top.
It looks like
almost identical.
That's yellow flag worthy there, trust me.
Again, Seidela keeping it himself under pressure and can't break the 2nd tackle as again Josiah Green gets in on the play and brings him down for a loss of a couple. So 3rd and 4 for Pike with 35 seconds to go in this third quarter, and I think definitely 4 down territory.
Definitely 4 down.
Again, 3 receivers bottom side of the screen. Seidela rolling that way to the left. Has a man in the flat, Sanders, and it's intercepted by Darren Johnson yet again. He's going down the field all the way. Darren Johnson with a pick 6 from the red zone for his 3rd interception. off of the deflection from Sanders. A flag, though, is down at the 35-yard line, and this interception could be coming back.
So let's see what happens here. But again, that was, as you can see the replay here, Sadella rolls out, and his throw there
had Sanders, just pops right through his hands.
Yeah, throw was maybe a little high, but still catchable. But
Aaron Johnson
just picked it off and went right down the sideline, and at that point he knew he was gone. There was nothing there, so let's see. Touchdown is going to stand, looks like, but
they waved that one off, and a tough break there and a turn of events. The North Central defense this time digging their heels in and coming up with a huge play to turn the tide.
I tell you what, the Red Devils were moving the football in this half. They've actually come out of the locker room playing really well, passing the football. But that was a catchable ball, a little high, but great play by North Central. Touchdown, and they extend their lead just a bit more here in the third as we get close to the end of the third quarter.
What a turn of events here, and the second interception of this quarter for Theron Johnson. 3 already in this one. He came in with 1 interception, 3 in this game, 1 for 6. Having an absolutely monster game for North Central.
Monster game. And if you think back a couple of plays prior to the interception, he was penalized for jumping through a receiver, knocking that one down. So he is actually all over the football. He's like a magnet. He's going to the football and making plays.
Absolutely amazing play there from North Central. Puts them up 34-7 over the Red Devils. A little demoralizing there. I feel like the Red Devils are going to pound that one in at some point and make it a 2-possession ball game. And in the blink of the eye, they lose 7 more points. And North Central starting to run away with this one. And we'll take this time to give you some scores from around the MIC as well. And talk about running away. Carmel on top of Warren 21-0. As this one.
Wow.
Extending even more, and again the Greyhounds looking to play spoiler to the Warren Central Warriors in their quest for back-to-back MIC championships.
So that would put North Central in first place. If Warren Central goes down tonight, that puts North Central at 5-1.
Well, you also have the Ben Davis
Ben Davis
well.
winning, so there's a tie there.
But the Giants right now are trailing Lawrence Central 23-18 in the fourth quarter.
Well, I'll tell you what, interesting MIC this year. No runaway team, parity, and I think everybody's fan base is pretty happy this year.
High kick here, and going to be returned for the Red Devils. Brought down right at the 35-yard line. Saw Kyson Allen take that one.
It's going to close at the third.
And that will be, like you said, the end of the third quarter. All North Central, 34-7. As we'll return for fourth quarter action here on your MIC Network Game of the Week.
What if a car company didn't just build better cars, but helped build something more, like community, family, futures? Well, that's exactly what Honda's doing, right here in Indiana. We're home of the award-winning Civic and CR-V, and home of the smart, stylish Insight Hybrid, all proudly built in Greensboro. We're support and stability, here and here. We're Honda, and we're building something more together.
Devils, and right now the Panthers seem to be having their way with the Red Devils on Pike Senior Night, and talked about already North Central positioned for a possible MIC championship. Ben Davis right now losing 23-18 to Lawrence Central. But if the Giants pull that one out, they both will have one loss. But if the Giants lose, North Central will be in sole control of first place.
And that's actually a great position. Again, they had a great season last year, and they're coming back this year and actually, looking really good this year.
We'll be monitoring games from around the MIC as well, as Center Grove still on top of Lawrence North, 35-21 in the fourth quarter there. As Seidella going to hand off to Williams.
Running hard there.
Moderate gain for him. Brought down right in the middle.
Logan, North Central, and Ben Davis play next week.
Absolutely, and that could end up being for the MIC championship.
For the MIC championship.
And how fun would that be as well? As they have a quick officials timeout here. Looks like Williams getting attended to there from the official on the far side of your screen. As we start the fourth quarter, and if you're the Red Devils right now, you're playing just to perfect your craft. You talk about the regular season. Now, it's not the end-all, be-all of what's going to happen for your season. You're playing for sectionals, which we know the sectional draw is going to come out on Sunday, and we'll all stay postponed for that. And a couple shake-up in the sectionals as well, as you see a miss snap there, and Williams just gets it, going to lose a couple on the play, though.
We've seen it a couple of times from the Red Devils. Actually, we've seen it a couple of times from both teams where the ball kind of gets through there. I'm not sure if it's still slick a little bit, but, they have a hard time pulling it down. And there, luckily, Seidel didn't fumble that ball.
3rd and 8 for the Red Devils. Again, Williams in motion. Seidel looking over the middle, throwing deep. Incomplete. Larry Campbell in on the defense looking for Simpson. And that's going to bring up 4th down.
Got to go for it here. You're down. It's 34-7. Just need 10 yards. Well, you just need 8 yards.
And this offense is staying out on the field.
Got to go get it. Got to go get it.
This North Central defense been stout all night long. And Seidel looking right side for Sanders, and it's going to be dropped. Hit coming in from Theron Johnson. So a turnover on downs again for the Pike Red Devils.
I tell you what, those North Central Panthers are a very confident bunch as you see them jogging off the field here, having, doing their work here. As you can see, this stop here, the ball looks like it could have been caught, but I tell you what, you got 2 North Central Panthers there able to break it up.
Well, North Central takes over on the 37-yard line, and I think we'll see more of the same here. A lot of running on the ground, and it's somewhere you get some playing time for some of the younger guys as well.
At this point, they're just trying to play out the string here.
So it looks like DJ Williams going to get in. The sophomore running back for North Central. And he's weaving around and getting like a hard-earned 1 yard on the play.
I'll tell you what, did about 3 or 4 turns there and finally was taken down. But again, for a 1 yard gain, that's a lot of motion.
Going to bring up 2nd down now for North Central, as looks like they're going to just play out the stretch here, like you said. And North Central, talked about it, poised for a MIC title. Score update for you guys. Lawrence Central on top of Ben Davis, 23-20 with 40 seconds to go in the 4th quarter. 23-20, Bears on top of the Giants as Williams dives forward and gets right to the line of scrimmage. So maybe an upset brewing there on the east side with Lawrence Central.
That would be interesting there, boy. That would be really interesting.
Still would set up a opportunity for what could be a 3-way tie next week with North Central and Ben Davis. If the Giants were to fall to the Bears and North Central would be the only remaining 1-loss team. We have a lot of 2-loss teams hoping for cheering for the Giants next week.
Absolutely, yeah, because they'll go in there and perhaps get a shot to knock off the Panthers. As you can say, that 4-way tie.
4-way tie.
4-way.
Maybe counting our chickens before they've hatched here, but still 3rd down. Williams getting dropped. 4th and 9 now for North Central. And we'll see if they punt this one away with under 9 to go or not. So a very interesting scenario where could possibly see a 4-way tie. That's not out of the question, and just depicts the parity. And like we've said, there hasn't been a clear-cut favorite coming out of the MIC this year.
When you think there is a team, 1 week, all of a sudden, you get an upset here, or something happens. I mean, it's just like I said, the fan bases across the MIC this year have been pretty happy because even the teams that are down at the bottom have been, for the most part, competitive.
As North Central looks like going to take the delay of game, back them up 5 yards, and now bring out Scott Hogue, the punter, to punt this one away with 8:19 remaining. The Panthers are on their way to another victory. It would push them to 6-2 on the season and 5-1 in conference. And we talked about just a great bounce back for them after the first 2 games of the season. Or excuse me, 2 of the first 3 games of the season.
2 of the first 3. And I tell you, the thing about, Indiana football is sectional play. Everybody starts at 0-0. And you see things on social media. What would it be like if there was a tournament, especially for 6A, where you can actually, put these teams, seed these teams? What kind of tournament? What would that look like, man? That would actually be really, I think, very exciting for the state.
Absolutely would be, and be interesting to see what type of metric they would use and how it would be used. But I think it'd be a whole lot of fun to create that type of atmosphere for these high school kids to have a selection show and hear your name get called.
I think so. That would be good.
Where you're going.
Because it's tough if the pairings come out and you're the #1 team in this, in the state, and then you're playing against one of your biggest rivals week 1 in sectional play. That's tough to do. That's tough, and it makes it seem like you had a great season, but all of a sudden you lose in the first round, and then you have a team at the bottom that wins a sectional game and moves forward. I mean, it's just the way it is, and that's tough. But again, a tournament would be nice.
Seems as though we are far away from that. As we've talked about, sectional pairings coming out Sunday night, so we'll have coverage on that throughout the week and where the MIC teams will be faring and what their schedules will look like come November.
Yeah, and like I said, to jump on that a little bit more, I think we've gotten to a point where there's a lot riding on sports. Why not have a tournament? Why not have a tournament where teams are seeded to see who the actual best team is?
Timeout here from the Red Devils. Ball on the 6-yard line. Have to take a timeout before the play clock runs down on them. Trailing 34-7 here. As once again, at this point, you're hoping to get out of here with no injuries.
No injuries, and
play was see a lot of second unit guys coming in now for both teams. Seidel is still in at quarterback, though, just getting more and more reps. The junior has showed some promise this season. And he's looking right under pressure, needs to get rid of it, and just gets it out again. Josiah Green getting in there, as well as Fiddler for North Central. That front four has done a nice job applying pressure to Anthony Seidel and not making him feel comfortable back there.
Not at all. He's been on the run most of the night there, having to throw on the run.
Under 8 minutes to play in this fourth quarter now. Red Devils going to continue to play their style. Backed up deep in their own territory here. Again, Seidel looking right side quickly. Out route. Going to be intercepted. Jaden Ward comes up with his second interception of the night.
I tell you what, he just floated that one out there, and it was just easy pickings right there for Ward. So you can see him, he just looks back and just airs it out there, and it's just up there in the air too long. And it was just picked off, easy.
What a display. This has been North Central starts inside the 10-yard line. Ward with 2 interceptions. Johnson with 3 in this game. Josiah Green has 1 as well. I mean, interception starting to rack up here. And change at quarterback now. Shamar Dabner coming in for North Central. Dabner hands off Williams. Williams falls forward for a gain of a couple. As you see a lot of mention the younger guys getting in to get an opportunity.
Yeah, I think you see that on both sides of the football. At this point, you know, the game is out of reach, just trying to play out the string here. But it's good to see young guys get in there. The younger guys are going to be the future of the programs on both sides. So got to get used to playing on Friday night.
And Davner, another transfer, the senior transfer coming in from Ben Davis, as the Giants do officially drop to the Lawrence Central Bears 23-20. The Lawrence Central Bears pulling an upset over the Ben Davis Giants
And
tonight.
that's huge for Lawrence Central. Again, they've taken a few lumps this year. So they come up with a win there. That's actually good for them and their program.
Again, official as well. Center Grove taking down Lawrence North 35-21. So the Wildcats will have one more chance to try to pull out a MIC win in the regular season. It's going to come
Against Pike next week. Pike travels to Lawrence North. That's going to be a big game for Lawrence North.
And Carmel in full control against Warren Central, up 28-0, under 3 minutes to go in that ball game as well. So it looks like Center Grove, Lawrence Central, Carmel, and it looks like to be North Central, all going to be victorious tonight in the MIC. As handoff to Williams, and he'll be brought down near the line of scrimmage. And bring up third down now for the Panthers.
So at the end of the night, it looks like the North Central Panthers will be the first place team. Is that what we're saying right now?
Absolutely. You're looking at the #1 team in the MIC right now, the North Central Panthers. Ranked 7th in the state. Got to think that's going to jump a little bit higher.
Going to jump a little bit higher, and it's amazing that the last couple of years with the success of Warren Central and Ben Davis, you have the North Central Panthers on top of the conference now. But as we talked about, next week the showdown, when they travel to Ben Davis, that makes that game even bigger, because if Ben Davis gets them, and now we have that four-way tie, teams with 2 losses, I mean, that's going to be huge.
Well, that's assuming. Oh, there's a fumble there as Williams gets right back down on it. Bring up 4th down, but that's assuming that the Carmel Greyhounds would get a win as well, as Warren Central will be all up on their and their MIC play. But Greyhounds still will have a game next week at Lawrence Central, who's come fresh off a big victory at home against Ben Davis. That's assuming the Greyhounds could go in there and get a victory. It could be, like you said, it could at max be a 4-way tie.
4-way tie.
But Warren Central right now looks like locked in at that second spot. They pick up their second loss in the MIC and could still very well end up in a 4-way tie for first, as Hogue going to come out and attempt this field goal attempt. Going to be a 32-yarder matching his long. And this one just sneaks through.
Wow, he just snuck through there.
How about that? 3 more points on the board off of a 32-yard score, and North Central up 37-7 in this one, and Hague tying a season record, and now 6 for 8 on field goal attempts. Nice having a good senior kicker always to back you up there.
It's always good to have it. That's the insurance policy there. And in a game like this, you can afford to put him out there and see what he's got. So he actually delivered there, and North Central, I mean, just has come in here and really played a tremendous football game. I mean, there hasn't been too many things that they've done wrong tonight. You know, we talked about the sideline, you know, theatrics over there, but other than that, really hasn't been much that they have done wrong.
Absolutely not, and that's exactly what it feels like. They've been their own worst enemy tonight, but correcting a lot of those mistakes. And once again, we've talked about the success of North Central rising up here and having one of the best years these last 2 years that they've had in program history. And you have to credit a lot of that to Coach Kevin O'Shea. The question was, how's North Central going to respond? And now they lose Liam Thompson down, going to Wabash, who's one of the best quarterbacks you'd seen come through the MIC. And you lose Trayvon Elliott, Jordan Bingham, a couple of big guys there, and Harry Oakes, your leading tackler on the defensive end. Coach Kevin O'Shea says, well, we're going to contend for a title.
That's what he said, and that's what they're doing. And again, after tonight, they will be in first place. And this is a good program, not just a good team this year. They're building a program.
Muffed there, and it's going to be recovered by North Central. Allen, there's a tough kick to try to grab there, and going to be recovered by Theron Johnson. The North Central Panthers was an unintentional type of onside kick when you pooch it up like that and make contact. Panthers getting right on, and they're going to take over on the 32-yard line. So when it rains, it pours.
Literally. I'm not sure what you can do at that time. You just perhaps even try to just bat that out of bounds. I mean, that thing's just bouncing around there. You got to try to do something there. Unfortunate bounce.
Just over 5 minutes to go in this one. So once again, talked about coaching there for North Central. You have to look at what Coach Etch is doing here with the Red Devils. I see the ball on the ground again. This one recovered by the Red Devils. They hand it right back to him. Sekou Berry able to come up with the fumble recovery.
Well, I'll tell you what, I like the fact that the Red Devils are still engaged there, still trying to make plays there, coming up with a turnover there, gets the ball back for the offense. So.
No harm, no foul.
No harm, no foul.
What we talked about with Coach Etch, what he's building here with the Red Devils, and we talked about how they've been in a lot of these games. They've been right there on the heels of some of the games. We talked about last week in Center Grove, 24-21 against Ben Davis. Came down all the way to the very end, 35-34 type game. And even against Warren Central, it was 28-14. I mean, they were in these games. You mentioned the Carmel game all the way up to the third quarter. It feels like the culture is changing here.
Well, what in speaking to some of the assistant coaches, what I'm hearing is this team is not giving up. They want to sit back and play through 4 quarters, no matter what the outcome is. Again, that's really instilling confidence, and that comes from the top here. Yes, you're right. The culture has changed. Just going forward, they're just going to have to get some experience here and turn some of these close games into victories.
Absolutely, and yeah, you hate using the term moral victory.
There's no such thing as a moral victory. No such thing.
But you have to like the direction in which.
The direction is great. The direction is great, but again, you got to start changing some of these L's into W's, and that's just going to take time and experience. And Seidella, we see him out there. Just a junior there. He's just got to learn to make better decisions with the football. There's some plays he's nails on, and there's others he just needs a little bit more experience. And I don't expect he'll be doing that next year at all.
And like I said, this was senior night. There aren't a lot of seniors on this Red Devil team, a lot of younger guys and a lot of eager guys trying to earn some playing time as well. And these are guys that get a whole nother gear in Coach Etch's system, which is going to be crucial in their learning curve, and that's one of them, Darius Williams, only a junior as well.
I'll tell you what, that was one of the best runs we've seen tonight. He went around on the side there, arm out, following his blockers, and picked up some good yardage there.
Got a good block there on the end as well.
Look at the block there. He's following them all the way through, and yeah, he's going to be a good one.
Chris Terry right there, senior in there, making a good block. And why not? Same play. If it worked once, let's try it again.
Give it to him. Give it to him.
And there goes Williams.
He might get loose.
And he gets knocked out just inside the 10. So the Pike threatening to score here late in the fourth quarter. And you like that never give up attitude.
Never give up. Again, like they said there, the morale on the team is still very high.
First and goal, ball on the 9-yard line. Thanks to a pair of rushes there from Darius Williams. Coming alive here late. Again, Seidella going to go out of the shotgun. Under 4 to go in this one. And play is going to be called dead for a false start. Damon Jones thought he was going to get 6 there.
Yeah, he did.
So pushing back 5 yards, and now first and goal from the 14 for the Red Devils.
Tell you one team I haven't mentioned tonight that I usually do is the Center Grove Trojans. They close out next week at Cathedral. That should be a pretty interesting ball game.
Absolutely, that's going to be an interesting one as Williams.
Did he get there? He got pretty
just
close.
Gets inside the 5. So another good run from Williams gets him back into striking distance inside the 5. Second and goal now for the Red Devils.
He's coming in here running with a purpose, isn't he? Give me the ball.
Absolutely. We'll see if the Red Devils can't pound this one in. Second and goal as we have a Panther down there. It looks like Deshaun Hunter a little slow getting up, so we'll take a quick break here from Pike High School. Once again, Panthers all over this one, 37-7. When we return, be Pike, second and goal from inside the 5.
The MIC Network Game of the Week is a proud product of Frontrunner Media's Next Generation initiative. Thanks to FrontRunner, the MIC Network Game of the Week allows students around the MIC to get hands-on experience while working alongside media professionals. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by the hardworking students that make it possible. The MIC Network, led by students, powered by champions.
We're back here at Pike High School where North Central has been all over the Red Devils from the opening kickoff. And that man right there, number 12, busting a move, took it in 90-some yards for a score. Oh, look at this. Tell you what, that's what can happen when you're up by almost 30.
You know, it's just confidence. I mean, they came in here. I mean, took control of this game early, and now it's about fun. Now they're having fun. Walk out of here tonight, first place in the MIC. That hasn't happened in a while, so it's good to see.
You can dance all you want when you are the team on top, that's for sure.
Dance, exactly.
And that's exactly what North Central is going to be after tonight, as the Red Devils looking to get a score here late in this ball game, and Jones does get that touchdown that he wanted. Eamon Jones gets in late here, just over 3 minutes to go for a late fourth quarter score for the Pike Red Devils. So we'll see the extra point coming out. See Zach Smith, another senior.
An opportunity to put a point on the board here.
Looks like this one's going to be, they need one more person out there.
Here he comes out there running, big number 62.
McLaughlin going to be the holder as well. Snap good, hold is a fake as McLaughlin takes off to the right side. There is a flag down. He's in though, but there is a flag out on the field. This 2-point conversion is good. We'll see what this flag is from the near side. That looked like a designed fake.
Look at the design fake. I tell you what, he got out there. Once he got loose, he turned on the afterburners and he was gone. So let's see how this is going to go down here. If it's going to go against the Red Devils.
And they're waving it off.
Okay.
So how about that?
Waving it off.
2-point conversion is good.
So.
Well, how about that? 37-15. McLaughlin getting a late spark there in.
Look at this speed here, though. He gets up, a design play like you said, and once he tucks it in, shakes that tackler. It was a foot race here, and he actually wins it by a few steps as he crosses the end zone for the deuce.
Some fun there late. Well, the MIC Network would like to welcome back Papa John's as a title partner for the MIC Network Game of the Week. With over 30 locations in the central Indiana area, great pizza is always nearby. So after the game, enjoy a hot, delicious Papa John pizza. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Daryl will take a look at some of the games coming up next week. We talked about it already with the Greyhounds traveling to Lawrence Central. The Bears getting a big win against Ben Davis tonight, 23-20. Lawrence Central looking to build off that momentum heading into sectional play as they take on the Greyhounds. The Greyhounds, though, shutting out Warren Central this week, 28-0. First time they've done this since 1991.
And that is amazing. You know, a lot of people talk about, you know, Warren Central lost a lot. You know, a lot of seniors last year. To be able to come back and that's still at this point, you know, be at the top of the MIC is still a tremendous feat. But at some point, that's going to catch up with you. These other teams are going to play to their strengths, and as you can see, being shut out the first time since '91, that's a tough pill to swallow for the Far East side.
Absolutely. Greyhounds, though, more importantly, staying in the hunt for that MIC championship that we talked about. North Central going to go to Ben Davis. We talked about them losing to Lawrence Central tonight after they were on a 3-game win streak, and things just went off the rails tonight.
I didn't see that one coming. I certainly didn't see that one coming. Again, that's going to make next week more important. The game of the week. I mean, that's North Central Ben Davis.
And there, it looked like they were going for an onside here. Kicked it a little early. And you see the flag coming out before.
Let's see if they pick this one up. Wait, this one off. I doubt it.
Oh. And we might try this one again. Hammer move back to the 50. No official signal here.
And
they wave it off. They wave it off.
Wow.
Yeah, how about that?
Man, baseball, someone will be ejected by this point. I'll tell you what. You reverse 2 calls.
And this one going 10 yards. A nice hop. And
great
Jalen Law nearly got to that one. Nice job there. North Central and Isaiah Rao getting the hands team on that one as Law from 24 was coming in.
Yeah, and look at the morale on the team. We talked about that. They're still engaged. The Red Devils are. Still excited to be there. Again, that's the culture that is being built here, and that's a good thing to see.
And the Red Devils, like we mentioned, going to Lawrence North next week. Going to finish up the regular season. Hard to believe we're almost through 8 weeks of football. 2 months already we've gone through, and sectional draw coming out, but the Red Devils going to Lawrence North, a team that's hungry for its first win in the MIC.
Hungry for the first win, and if you're Lawrence North, that's your opportunity to get in there and get it done and get some momentum for sectional, going into the sectional play.
Williams with the big run up the middle, finally brought down past midfield as the Panthers still with some success running the ball here late with about 3 minutes to go. And that, if you're just now tuning in, that has been the story of the game. It's been North Central running it down the throats of the Red Devils.
Just running and just turning and handing the ball off. Doesn't matter who's back there. Getting 4, 5, 6, 10 yards of carry. Before you know it, they're in the secondary. And that's a problem, has been a problem.
Abel still in at quarterback. Mentioned back there, DJ Williams, the sophomore. Hand off to him now to the right side. He's getting a heavy load. He'll plop forward just past the 40. And another good, about 8-yard run. (37-15). Panthers on top of the Red Devils. Obviously, the Panthers in no rush here. I tell you, we really have to compliment the fans who have come out to this game from North Central and from Pike. It's been a nasty night out there.
You know, this game started, it was an absolute downpour, and you still had fans sitting in the stands senior night watching this game. So like you said, the fans, I mean, hats off to them. Hats off to our crew, too, out there braving their elements as well. It's been very tough.
All the students who are involved from Pike High School, and gotta love that as well.
They came out here, and I'm not sure if they really realized what they were getting into. But, yeah, they did a great job tonight. I'm sure they're soaked. The rain has stopped, but the temperature has gone down a little bit. They're on fall break coming up, so they have a week to recover.
Under 2 minutes to go in this one. Clock just ticking away. So both teams playing out the stretch here. Heavy doses of runs on the ground as Williams again getting outside and going to be knocked out of bounds. Clock going to stop on that first down run. It's again Red Devils playing tough through it all. And there was a point in this game where Red Devils were moving it down the field in the third quarter, and that interception off of Sanders' hands into Theron Johnson's arms, that felt like that was the backbreaker right there.
Well, you know, at that point it was 27-7 when that happened. You get an opportunity to go down there and punch it in. Now you got 14, and you still have a little life left. But with that interception, you talk about a backbreaker. That's exactly what happened. As we see this run, the formula here tonight, the run. But that was the one play that really broke the Red Devils' back. It was already going to be a tough uphill climb anyway, but that was the one that you can point to.
And I tell you what, tip your cap to that North Central defense as well. forcing all those turnovers. I mean, 6 interceptions don't just come into your hands.
They don't. And again, when you on the other end of that, the first game of the season, when you throw 6 interceptions and then you come and get 6 interceptions, whole different feeling. It looks like that is it there. It's the victory formation. Snap the ball as the clock runs down. We're under 15 seconds as the teams walk to their respective sides. North Central Panthers walk out of here on top of the MIC Conference.
How fun is that for the north side as well?
I mean, it's one of those things, you know, all the practices, all those the things that coaches go through. When they tell you, you got to do this. This is what you have to do to be champions. They got them on the right road.
Absolutely. North Central right now in control of their own destiny. You mentioned it, Daryl, sitting top of the MIC with this 37-15 victory over the Pike Red Devils. North Central now going to go to Ben Davis next week with a chance to close out the MIC outright.
Well, I tell you what, that's a lot of excitement to be able to go in there. A lot of momentum. They're going to be very, very, you know, like I said, just excited. But we know that the Ben Davis Giants are not just going to let them walk in there and take that.
Absolutely, they're not. And you got to think, everything that you've seen from North Central tonight, running the ball with ease like that, they were able to do that as well against Center Grove, against Carmel, against some other teams as well. This isn't just a one game off.
It's not. It's their style of football. They bought into it. That's what they're doing. And again, they are going to be a tough out in sectional play.
Absolutely. And we mentioned at the beginning of this broadcast, it started out at Lucas Oil for North Central, where they kind of got embarrassed by Fisher as they came out, didn't look like themselves. If you saw them then, they're a whole different ball team. It is the team that could end their season at Lucas Oil as well.
I think so. And again, like you said, we were at another site and we saw that, you know, interception after interception, and they're getting blown out. And we're thinking, wait a minute, we talked about how good the North Central Panthers could be this year. But then you see that.
Right.
But again, they've actually righted the season, if you will, and gone on a streak here and put themselves in position to come away as MIC champions this year and also move further. And like you said, Lucas Oil Stadium could be on the horizon for the Panthers.
Absolutely. North Central, again, coming out here with a win, 37-15, in full control of this one. Let's take a look at some of the highlights and how they got there from the beginning. It started from the opening kickoff. With Hamilton going all the way to the house and really set the tone for the Panthers.
Well, I tell you, he just got that ball and just found a seam there. Deion Sanders used to say there's always a seam. He found it there and at the other end of the end zone for 6 points. And then the Red Devils, actually on the opening possession, Xavier Simpson, he finds him down low, Seidella does. And, you know, we thought the Red Devils were in business there as we see Simpson make that play again. But at some point, North Central just said, we're going to come out and play North Central football. We're going to run the football. But again, the North Central defense did a tremendous job tonight in shutting down the Red Devils. At halftime, we talked about 3-3-1. You know, you know, that's just a good ball club.
Absolutely, and when you talk about the turnovers there, you mentioned the 6 interceptions. There are a couple fumbles as well that North Central was able to pounce on as well and turn over on downs as well, that they made some 4th down stops. I mean, just the recipe was there for North Central to take this one from the very beginning when they came out and started playing like that. And like I said, you have to tip your cap to them and to that defense for allowing their offense to play with such a short field where their drives are starting at the 48, at the 47. I mean, they were right there going half the field and able to score. And Pike Stevens held them for as long as they could, but at some point, you just break.
Yeah, and what I was impressed, you know, early on, they came down and scored one of their touchdowns in the elements. I mean, you know, the rain and the wind is blowing in their face. They went right down the field and punched into the end zone. I mean, they came off the buses tonight with a plan. They stuck to it, and they're walking away tonight with a victory.
Absolutely. Next up, we mentioned from North Central going to Ben Davis next week. For North Central for Pike going to Lawrence North. A couple MIC games going on. We're going to be at Carmel with the Greyhounds taking on Lawrence Central at Lawrence Central. That's going to be a big-time match. I've mentioned the Bears knocking off the Giants already. The Carmel trying to keep themselves alive for a chance of that MIC title. It could be a 4-way tie.
They are, but also every team is trying to get some momentum for sectional play, so everybody is going to be out there really ready to play next week.
Absolutely. We can't wait for Week 9 action as well as sectional draw. Remember, coming up on Sunday night, we'll have stuff posted throughout the whole week, keeping you updated on where all the MIC teams will be playing come a couple weeks from now.
Absolutely.
Once again, North Central comes out on top, 37-15 in this one on your MIC Network Game of the Week. I'm Logan Hunks, joined by Daryl Morton Jr. and the rest of the crew here from MIC Network. Wish you all a good night.
The MIC Network Game of the Week is presented by Papa John's, the Indianapolis Marriott East Center, Brand Visions, and Front Runner Media.